Let's roll. The Monday Night Meltdown officially has begun. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people of Boston, and everybody else in between along for the ride from Costa Rica to California, Montreal to Minnesota. Let's do this thing. The Monday Night Meltdown. We got a lot of stuff on the board tonight. Some nights we've got the New York Knicks and the Sacramento Kings, and on some nights we've got some tournament basketball, West Coast Conference tournament basketball from Las Vegas, Nevada, where we will be for March of Madness. I guess that's next week, man. The calendar just keeps turning. So we're going to be in Las Vegas next week throwing it down, and it is official. For those of you that are going to be in town, you can throw it down with us Friday, March 16th at 4 o'clock Vegas time. Now, we're going to be around for more than just that, but Zach Jones and the SBR crew, Clay Travis and his crew will converge at the Mirage Sportsbook and Casino. So Friday we'll watch a game or two at the Mirage. Get ready for the Friday night freak show. It's gonna be a crazy trip to Las Vegas, man. We got the games, and the show must go on. So we're gonna be broadcasting the shows from various locations. And to be honest with you, we're going to have a Periscope going as well, so we can just sort of step up and in and out. Might be some shorter shows. Going to be chaos down there, but it's going to be a great time. So Las Vegas, Nevada, here we come. So speaking of Las Vegas, the man that joins us right now, of course, joined us straight from the Strip in Las Vegas, Nevada. But we've got basketball going on tonight in Las Vegas, and I don't know, Gabe Morency, he must have decided, as much as he wanted to go see Gonzaga kick the crap out of the San Francisco Dons, he said, you know what, I've got a commitment to Morency. I got to do the Monday show. Dave Morency joins us. How you doing, Dave?
Yeah, it wasn't the first game there was a temptation, but there is a temptation for the nightcap because this one has a chance to be real good. But I got a bone to pick right off the bat here. Could you afford a new Michigan jersey after how much you made this past weekend? I've seen this one before. Couldn't you have afforded a new one with what happened over the last 4 days?
Yeah, it's not my classiest Michigan. It's the Michigan T-shirt. But Dave, it's funny. It's funny you say this, actually, Dave, because I don't know where to. I don't know where to start here, Dave. As we can go with the old school Michigan starter jacket.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Old school Michigan starter jacket. Yeah, we got it all. You know what sucks though, Dave? My one Michigan basketball jersey. It's a Chris Webber jersey. And it's a little old. And even though I'm not the biggest guy in the world, it's a little small. So I got the Michigan starter. This is a nice one. I got the Michigan starter. We could bust out the old school Anthony Carter. Michigan hockey, Dave.
Okay, that's also not because what you want is the differentiation. You want to be known as a John Beilein guy, not a Harbaugh guy. Right now. So you need something specifically Michigan hoops. Yeah, so you're okay.
Michigan hockey's nice and generic. It's pretty good. It pretty much settles it. But you're right. It's not about Harbaugh, but yeah, I've got Michigan. I got more stuff too, actually, to be honest, kicking around. You know what I still have, David? I've hung on to it. It's great. I can't wear it. It's very small now, but it's still in good shape. I actually have the national championship basketball from 1989, Ramil Robinson, Glenn Rice. I actually have the jersey. I got it from Ann Arbor specifically after the fact, and a very limited edition. I should bust that out, Dave, to be a real cool kid. Well, you into the Fab Five? Fuck the Fab Five, man. This is Ramil Robinson, man, real old school.
Yeah, that game always brings back bad memories though, because it was my early days in Las Vegas, and we had a decision to make that night because we've been riding Seton Hall all the way through the tournament. And the question was, do you bet them on the money line or do you take the points? And we found a place that was a nickel off on the money line. bet the money line instead of the points. And, of course, if you had taken the points with Seton Hall, you would have won your bet that night, betting the money line, even though it was and we made the decision the proper way. You take the best mathematical value of the two. In that case, it didn't play out. That was a hell of a game, but not the greatest of memories.
Andrew Gaze. That's right. Andrew Gaze. All right, Dave. So yeah, we'll bask in Michigan's greatness in a moment or two. But let's get down to business, actually, Dave, because you mentioned that BYU game against Saint Mary's, and I'm really looking forward to this contest tonight. But let's start off with the National Basketball Association game, and I got to tell you, if you would have told me, let's say even as recently as, let's say 1 month ago, 3 weeks ago, Dave, that the Portland Trailblazers and LA Lakers would be playing a big-time NBA game on March the 5th, I'd think you're Sam Nunberg and that you're drunk. But here we are right now, Dave. The Lakers and the Blazers. I got to tell you, I imagine the atmosphere tonight outside the arena and going into the Staples tonight, there's going to be a buzz in the building. They're gunning for their 10th straight home victory. They're riding a 5-game win streak. You got the Portland Trailblazers coming in. They're riding a 5-game win streak. They're 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 basketball games. And the Lakers have played themselves back into the playoff picture right now.
Yeah, we got one quick question, because since you deal with a lot of people who, try various substances, was Nunberg only drunk today, or was there possibly something else in his system? Because if that was only alcohol,
well, did you? I don't know if you saw the interview live, Dave, or you saw the reaction after. But Aaron Burnett on CNN, did you happen to see it? Did you see the clip?
I've only seen transcripts of that got out on Twitter real quickly. I have not watched it.
I tweeted out a video link of it. So basically, yeah, she asked him. She said, she goes, I don't know, this is kind of awkward to ask you this, but you've been called, like Trump's campaign called him a drunk before. And they said, he's drunk. He was a low-level guy. He's always drunk. And she goes, you'd have been called a drunk. And he sort of, laughed it off. And she goes, I got to be honest, I smell alcohol on your breath right now. And, he was put it back. His eyes blinked. He looked away. He was like, no. And then she asked, are you on anything else? And he said, well, just my meds. So who knows, whatever his meds happen to be, Dave. But it was actually pretty entertaining and fascinating. I was unaware. I knew that he did an interview or two earlier in the day, but I didn't realize he did like 9 of them. So he's been doing the circuit all day long. And he went off after Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And I shouldn't laugh, man, but I don't like Sarah Sanders. So I got a good laugh out of him bashing her. But yeah, it was quite the spectacle, Dave. It's amazing. I don't want to get political, but it really is amazing, the sideshow that's come with this. And, the Bannons and the Roger Stones and now the Nürnbergs. It never fucking ends, Dave. It's like it really is reality TV.
Unfortunately, it sort of came with the territory that we dipped outside of the usual realm. And there's a good and a bad through this. We'll get right back to basketball. People always complain about politicians. We don't want the career politicians. We just don't want that anymore. Well, this is what happens, though, when you deviate. It's one thing if you've got a bunch of corrupt guys who at least know the rules and follow the rules. When you bring people in who probably have the same level of corruption but don't know the rules, you sort of become subject to this. Here's what we're subject to now, though. We've written a lot about Lonzo Ball at Point Blank, talked about him on this show, about how his defense has been such an underrated factor this year. But if folks weren't watching the Lakers at San Antonio Saturday night, a game where the Lakers were down big in the fourth quarter, we saw something for the first time out of Ball at the offensive end. Last 3 minutes of the game, he took 3 3-point shots. 2 of them when the Lakers were trailing. The last one when the Lakers were tied. He knocked them all down. He looked real confident taking those shots. Lakers have something going on. 17-7. Now the last 24 games. Take some of that with a grain of salt because the schedule wasn't that difficult. But it shows there is the makings of something. Now that Randall has his head in the game, you've got Kuzma. You got Ingram, who's only going to get better. You got Josh Hart, who's injured now, but is a guy who can contribute. There are actually pieces of something good happening in LA. So even though it's too late to make a playoff run this year, I think these guys are having so much fun right now, playing together, playing up-tempo, sharing the ball, and winning games. Watch them now this next week. Not only a chance to play spoiler against Portland tonight, they're going to play Denver twice over the rest of the week. Chance to play spoiler against Denver. Lakers are going to play harder than some teams that are in playoff contention. So they're going to be a lot of fun to watch the rest of the way.
You know, Dave, it's funny, as you mentioned, the Lakers are going to be a little bit too late, too short. They're $8 short to get to the playoffs, I believe. But one thing that they're doing right now is they're eliminating the aura and the culture of losing. From even like let's say a month ago or a month and a half ago, let's say 2 months ago, you know, LeVar Ball running his mouth, Lonzo Ball clanking threes, them giving up 123 points a game. Even though they have money for max players coming up this year, there weren't a lot of guys, even in the rumor mill, that were like, yeah, I'll take the Lakers money. It was more so, it's a fucking freak show there. I don't want any part of that stuff. But the way that they're playing right now, you know, there'll be guys going, you know what, I wouldn't mind being part of this actually with, you know, the rebranding of the Lakers, because it is showtime still. It is LA. The Lakers are still a sexy team. It's a great city to live in if you're a multimillionaire. There's a lot of benefits to this. So I think what they're doing now really does set themselves up nicely for next year, sort of a message to the league. Hey, you know, we don't suck anymore. We're not a joke anymore. You know, they still have work to do. But with that being stated, Dave, you know, let's stop the Laker love fest for a second. I don't know what it is. You and I have talked about this. Baseball, Major League Baseball, NBA basketball, NHL hockey. Doesn't count in football because the road trips aren't the same. But when teams go on prolonged road trips, Dave, and specifically successful road trips, it's almost a blind bet that they're going to lose their first game back home. See it all the time. You see it in baseball a lot. You see it in the NBA a lot. I see it in the NHL all the time. Team goes 4-0 on the road, shocks everybody. They're minus 170 favorites in their first game back home, and they get slapped around. It happens all the time. You and I have talked about it. The commitments of the home lifestyle changes things. They're both hot tonight. I like the Blazers. I think the Blazers, and you know the Blazers have won the last 10 times they've played them as well. They're 8-2 against the spread. I like what the Lakers are doing. The fact that Brandon Ingram isn't there is a big deal to me. I think the Blazers win this game tonight. I like what the Lakers are doing. I got to admit it. Even Lonzo's turned it around. But I think Portland's the play tonight, Dave.
Yeah, because when we talk about these road trips, it particularly matters when you only get 1 day off coming home also. And that's all the Lakers got. So there are so many administrative things that you've got to take care of. I could see them being, maybe just a tick off the level that they played at. Portland is legit right now. And here's what's so big about the way the Western Conference lays out. The Trailblazers believe they can win that number 3 slot. And that's not bad. That means, of course, you get not only get a home court in the first round, but you avoid the Rockets and the Spurs. So, Rockets and the Warriors. So you get that opportunity. What's happened with Portland this year? Nurkic became the legitimate big guy they had not had. So big improvements for Portland defensively and in rebounding. In fact, since the All-Star break, Portland has been the best defensive team in the NBA by a wide margin. Wow. So what Portland's going to do tonight, they're going to slow the Lakers down. They're going to make this a grinder. That's something the Lakers haven't had to deal with. So I do like Portland a little bit here, especially as the total runs up. I see 225.5 getting out there now. So the prospect of laying Portland -2 or the Laker team total, if we can find it to go under 112, and I haven't seen that yet, it might pop before tip-off as the over money keeps coming in. So I don't think they're giving Portland enough credit for the way they played. They're going to manage the tempo, force the Lakers to grind a little bit tonight. But here's one thing that's been a big part of the Lakers' success. Their size on the perimeter. And that's why Lonzo Ball is, in particular, been a good defender. Lillard and McCollum are going to have to go up against bigger defensive guys tonight. That's going to be interesting. Let's see if they can get loose and find their shots on the perimeter as casually as they've been able to, because as good as the Portland defense has been, as improved as the rebounding has been, when the guards don't score, the Trailblazers don't win. So this will be a little bit of an acid test to watch that Laker perimeter defense. It's been a key for them. It's going to be a real key tonight.
I look at this lineup, Dave. So Brandon Ingram's out, and he could be out for a little while right now. We're talking about how good the Lakers are. How much of an impact do you think this has? And, with Isaiah Thomas out there, and Lonzo Ball, McCollum, and Lillard, so this is small ball tonight, isn't it, Dave? I understand, the total going up right now. This is a guard-based game, 3-ball, fast break, transition. It should be an interesting game to watch tonight. How much of an impact is Ingram being out? I think it has a big impact on them. I think it just changes the dynamic a little bit of the style of their play. What do you make of this?
Yeah, they've been able to be out. The road trip, they were okay without it. So it's something that they've become accustomed to. It does impact the depth a little bit, though. So when we talk about that first game back, when you might not have your legs, you'd like to have a little more depth than the Lakers are going to have out there. But they've been okay without it. That is the one area the Lakers have depth on the wings. So it shouldn't be too big of a headache for them tonight.
Dave, so the total right now keeps climbing. Are we put off right now? And the Blazers have just been freaking dominant. We mentioned the dominance against them. What do you make of the total? Is it getting a little bit too high right now?
Yeah, let's set the perspective. Since the All-Star break, Portland, 2.5 points better than anybody else in the NBA when we talk about points per 100 possessions allowed on defense. And anytime I'm quoting a stat, it's almost always going to be that particular stat. Since the break, let me call the numbers. Portland, 95.6. Utah, the next best team, 98.3. So they are far beyond where anyone else has been defensively. Because what's happening is when you win, players start to buy in. And Portland does have some role players that can D up a little bit. They're buying in now because the success has been there. So you get guys, they're not pouting anymore because they're not getting the ball. They're not pouting when Lillard scores 40.
You're right. It's hard for Nurkic even to complain about the playing time. And one of those guys, teams playing right now, we're talking West Coast Conference basketball, is the Collins kid out of Gonzaga. What's his name? Zach Collins. Zach Collins. Kind of a raw player, Dave, but we saw his talent last year in the tournament. But he's starting to get some minutes right now. And basically, he's providing just this defensive scrappiness, going in there, doing the little things, getting in the paint. Because, in the past, Portland have kind of been a little flaky. They were so driven by their guards. They've got, Minu's talented, but, they didn't have guys that were really just going to get in there and just do the dirty work. Collins is doing a nice job of this, and his minutes are going up because of it. But, Nurkic's minute goes down a little bit. But as a whole, they're a better basketball team right now because of this.
Yeah, let the guards score, win the rebounding, play hard on defense. Again, where they've broken down is when they've needed that third scorer, and that hasn't been there. Because here's what's interesting. Even though they're undefeated since the All-Star break, they're 5-0. They are dead last in the NBA in assist ratio, only getting assists on 47% of their baskets. So the ball's not moving. This is not happening out of offense. It's still one-on-one stuff. But when you're winning, you can do that. As long as the other players buy in, that can work. The question tonight, though, can Lillard and McCollum, can they score against a bigger backcourt? That's one of the unsung edges the Lakers have in the game. So I think Portland is the right side. Here comes the last big push. I see 226.5 now.
Dear God, I know.
Showing on the total. That will allow me.
Everybody offshore and everyone at the window in Vegas right now are walking up and betting the over this game.
Yeah, that means I'll see my 112 Lakers team total under. That, I think, is the best way to put this into use. That'll give me the Portland defense. If the offense struggles a little bit against the Lakers size, I'm not hurt quite as much. But, yeah, I see Chris's 226.5, so a lot of places will copy that here in town. William Hill's gone to 226.5.
It's a ballsy bet you're making. I'm looking at those Lakers here. 124, 113, 123, 131, 116. Their offense has been on a roll, man.
Well, it's who they've been playing. Now look at the Portland defense. Do the flip side of that. Again, a team is giving up 95.6 per 100 possessions. Since the All-Star break, they allowed Phoenix to get to 104 on the road. All other games, no one else has even broken 100. So I'm going to rely on defense and tempo to just keep this under control.
Well, here's your weekly Monday night tip. It's a tipster. You want to get it?
And you know what this is? This is somebody saying, here's the 112 is now available with the Lakers.
Yeah, so, Dave, I can handle it for a minute if you want. Just hit mute. You can take it.
No, that's the I can text them and let them know that I'm aware of it. But yeah, that's what that calls. Hey, we got the 112 now. How much do you want? Yeah, those
annual Monday night call right before tip-off for these games, Dave.
Well, you get people out there looking for numbers. And if I can't find it, you put – and here's what happens. There's a lot of trading that goes on in the betting community. I don't know for sure that person found the 112, but sometimes they'll give it to you in exchange for other favors. So let's say if I'm looking for X at 112 and they only see 111.5, they'll give the 112, half point the worst of it, in exchange for being first in line or second in line or wherever they think their place in line is for other bits of information. So we do a lot of trading, and I will give people numbers that I don't have if it will benefit me somewhere later on down the line.
The Vegas partnering system still alive and well. We're in conversation with Gabe Morency. You can read his column on the front page of sportsbookreview.com. All right, so guys, I'm on the Blazers. I gave the over earlier in the day, but man, it was 223. It's up to 226.5. I think it's going to be a sweat job, and I think it'll come down to right around the number. But you guys know I'm like Pete Rose. I either bet on the Reds or I don't bet. I either bet on the over or I don't bet, really. Although I did take an under the other night in a college basketball game, but that's different. Okay, so I'm on the Portland Trail Blazers. Dave likes the Lakers team total under. I like the Blazers, and I lean over in the basketball game, but I think we're going to be sweating it out. I like the Blazers side better than the total. So, Dave, I grabbed the over of both West Coast Conference games tonight, and it could be a problem for me. No, we're good. We're good, actually. I was worried about – I didn't look in the last few minutes. I was worried about what the Dons were going to do, but credit to the Dons for battling, Dave, here in the second half. I mean, they know they're not coming back, but at least hanging around like this is pretty impressive. I was going to take them plus 24.5, Dave, at the half, thinking Gonzaga's got a championship game to play. They'll take the pedal off the metal. We still have in-game here. What do you think about this? Do we wait, and then maybe, Gonzaga's got to clear the bench soon, don't they?
It's always difficult because you can't be too sure how far San Francisco will clear the bench.
Yeah.
Because since they can't win either, this is where you let anyone who's allowed to legally play in the game, any managers.
Your chance to play against, you're playing against the top 10 team in Gonzaga, kid. You got your memory in the West Coast tournament.
That's it. Any walk-ons, anybody who can get out there and contribute a little bit. But at least they've scored enough in the second half that you will get your over, out of that one. But yeah, it's real tough. You have to know the teams and coaches very well to know what will the coach's intent be. And I'm always concerned when these dogs can't win the game, that they just empty the bench out completely at the very end.
Yeah. Okay. So the in-game total is 160.5 right now. We've got over 141, of course. So we're looking to cash that home. We're at 126 with 8 minutes left.
That 160 looks a little bit high, though, because the last 2 minutes of this game will be played at a very, very slow pace. So it's not like there's 8 minutes. It's more like there's 6. One of the things we do is whenever a team is ahead by more than 20 points, we take about a minute and a half or 2 minutes off the game. Yeah. Just knowing that in the last minute, the team that is ahead will go to the end of the shot clock every time. And in fact, the last 30 seconds, there likely won't be a shot taken. So there's not really 8 minutes left in this game. Maybe there's about 6 minutes and 30 seconds or so in terms of real basketball play.
Good point. Dave, we got second half action. I don't want to put you on the spot. I know you're not a fan of some of these games, but I actually do have the over 139 in this game. South Dakota and Denver, the Pioneers, Little bit of a concern because of the discrepancy right now, 47-25 right now for South Dakota at the half against Denver. Denver just at 25. Right now the in-game total is 147.5. I got 8.5 points I'm working with here, but as you stated, who knows what'll happen in the last few minutes of this game. I need Denver to go on a little bit of a run here.
Yeah, this is a game where if I'm handicapping it, even though I don't know those teams, if I see a 22-point margin at halftime, I'm projecting the second half at about 18 minutes and 30 seconds instead of 20 minutes. So whatever pace ratings or whatever offense-defense ratings I have, I would project them at about 18 and a half minutes instead of 20 minutes. And guys, this is just Monday night. This is going to be happening every day the rest of this week as you're looking at these tournament games. Be prepared for some of these blowouts at halftime to become dead second half unders. Part of it is the favorite that has to play again wants to save energy. I think, too, is the underdog. During the regular season, if you're down 22, you have to play hard in the second half because you got to practice the next day. You got another game to play coming up a couple days later. You stay in structure. Tournament time, when you can't win the game anymore, your season's over. So that discipline of staying inside of structure and running plays and doing the things you would do in January and February, you don't do that in March anymore. So always a little leery when a game breaks open in the first half, those second halves can shut down pretty tight.
All right, so, it's already slowing down here, 75-51 still. They better fucking score 15 points in the next 7 minutes of this game. BYU and Saint Mary. So they'll tip this game off 30 minutes after this Gonzaga-San Francisco game is over at the Orleans in Las Vegas on Tropicana Avenue. BYU and Saint Mary. This should be a fun game, Dave. I'm looking forward to this one. Saint Mary's really, really got all they can handle the other night from Pepperdine. What do you make of that? Is this a concern coming into this game? Is Saint Mary's overrated? I mean, it seems like it's rinse and repeat. They had a chance to actually nail down the conference, regular season conference title. They really got outclassed by Gonzaga in that game a couple of Saturday nights ago. St. Mary's beat up on bad teams. There's been times where they've had a really good record and they don't get into the tournament because of their strength of schedule. They're going to get in this year even if they don't win. But it seems like they get to the final and then they just lose to Gonzaga all the time. They got all that they can handle the other night from Pepperdine. That was quite the little run for Pepperdine, beating Santa Clara and then hanging with St. Mary's. But now you get BYU coming in here, Dave. You know as well as I do. I don't have to tell you about the Mormon contingent in Las Vegas, the amount of BYU alum in Las Vegas, the close proximity of Utah to Las Vegas. Big game for the BYU program tonight if they can knock off St. Mary's. I want to take BYU. I like it. I like the over in this game as well. I think the number is just a little bit too short, even though I know St. Mary's is an over team. But the fact is, Dave, St. Mary's are just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've been scuffling a little bit. Do we have a live dog with the Mormons tonight?
In a lot of ways, yes, because the St. Mary's form, like I said, was nothing special. They followed up the Gonzaga loss with a loss at San Francisco. Pepperdine really made them fight for everything they could get Saturday. So there's been nothing special, really for about a month out of St. Mary's. BYU played them close both regular season. It went to overtime at BYU. Even the rematch at St. Mary's was closer than the final score. It goes into the books as a 13-point game. It's anybody's game with 5 minutes left. One big issue, though, for BYU, interior defense. They were number 240 in the nation at guarding 2-point shots. In the two head-to-head games against them, Jock Londell, the best player in the conference, 63 points and 27 rebounds. So does BYU have an answer to stop him inside? They didn't have it head-to-head. They didn't have it against anybody else. I think they will play hard. I think they'll take the court believing that they can win the game. I just don't know if that interior defense can hold up. And like I said, it's a bad weakness to have when the best player in the conference is a big guy for your opponent.
Thing with BYU too, Dave, they're really, really dependent on whether the three ball's falling or not. If the three ball's falling, they get into a groove. and they hit shots. One thing we talk about, sort of like the military academies, Dave, in football, in which you're going to get an honest effort and they're going to play hard from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. That's the one thing I do like about betting on BYU. You know that these kids are going to try. Kids, they're grown men. Fuck. You know they're going to try. You know they're going to play hard for the 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's playing hard. If you can knock down a few perimeter shots, but it's just hanging in there defensively because their hole is in the middle on defense, and this is an opponent that can exploit that hole. That's the matchup difficulty. But and it's not that it should chase somebody off of it. Every time you're looking at an underdog, there's going to be a problem somewhere. That's why you're taking points. If the matchups all favored BYU, they would be favored in the game. But that is that headache inside. Other thing, too, we wrote about it today's Point Blank, where BYU is just a slight tick overrated statistically. Free throw defense, which doesn't actually exist, but sometimes over the course of the season, some teams get very, very lucky. BYU's opponents made 322 foul shots against them. The NCAA average would have been 362. Given the same number of attempts. Teams shot 65.5% from the line against BYU. That actually made their defense 1.3 points per game better than it was, just an inordinate number of free throw misses by their opponents. So that defense is a touch overrated. I like them on energy tonight. I just can't get over the hump and bet them on the matchup. I'm concerned that Lawndale might go out there and put up another big game.
I'm concerned about this game, Dave, that we're going to fall just short. You know what I mean? It's been the inner voice. I talked about this on the radio show today, too, that, I woke up and I saw there wasn't a line early in the morning right away, but finally when it was posted, I was like, all right, man, I want to take BYU here, but I know, I know that I can just see they're going to be in the game and they're going to end up losing by 8 or 9 late in the game. And the fact is, Saint Mary's have pretty much had their way with them. They beat them 75-62. So I find it interesting, though, Dave. They've gone under the number 4 straight times they played against each other, including both times this year. But both would have gotten us over, barely. It was 136. It's up to 137 right now. But they put up 137 and 130 points exactly, Dave, in the 2 matchups they've played so far this year. And we know in these tournament games, last game, desperation time. Teams are playing it out right now. BYU's trying to play themselves into this tournament as well. So even if they're down, they're not going to roll over. I think the over is a safer play than BYU personally.
Yeah, what the markets did is they adjusted to BYU over the course of the season. That's why you see that total being down as low as it is. BYU's tempo was very, very different this season from the past. Last year, number 5 in the nation in seconds per shot on offense. This year, they slowed it down to 162. It was a different group. So they learned to play. So odds makers had trouble with BYU totals early in the year. They managed to start adjusting them back. And that's what opens the door to get it over tonight. So you do get that little window of opportunity. These are teams that are going to make their free throws. If it's close, and that's all you got to do. Just let the game be close late. Both of these teams shoot over 75% at the free throw line. So you can steal, even if you don't win it on the basketball flow, if it stays close, you can steal it at the end. You can get 15 points out of the last 2 minutes.
Going to be a fun game, Dave. Going to be a fun game. It almost just seems inevitable, though, doesn't it? St. Mary's Gonzaga. Like, it's every damn year. It's the same thing.
But does that psychologically weigh on the minds of St. Mary's a little bit? You know where BYU's focus is tonight? They want to beat St. Mary's. Does the St. Mary's concentration drift a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe a little bit about Gonzaga because of the type of beating you took the last time against them?
I thought that's what happened to Florida Gulf Coast yesterday, Dave. I think Florida Gulf Coast just sort of thought, we're going to win. We're at home. And, we always go to the tournament type of thing. And Lipscomb's never been there before. Florida Gulf Coast just sort of seemed to take it for granted, I think, that they were going to the tournament. And you're right. That's what I was thinking, too, about St. Mary's, that right now, Dave, they know they're in the damn building. So, they're watching Gonzaga. They know Gonzaga's about to get there, and they're thinking, all right, we'll get Gonzaga again. We'll get Gonzaga again. Meanwhile, BYU's room, they could give 2 shits about this Gonzaga-San Francisco game right now. They're only thinking about, man, it'd be pretty big for us if we could beat St. Mary's here right now. Like I said, I don't imagine BYU is going to get in with 9 losses, but they do have 23 wins, Dave. What's the deal with BYU? It looks like BYU seems to me the type of team that could win the NIT.
They have no shot at an at-large. They absolutely would have to win each of these games. St. Mary's, for as good as some of their numbers are, if they lose tonight, if they don't make the finals, they probably get in because some of the metrics like them a little bit too much. I don't like St. Mary's as much as the rest of the betting world.
I don't know how good they are, Dave. They don't fucking play anybody. And what do you think of this? Somebody brought it up to me the other day, and I don't know if you can confirm this. I didn't see. I'm just going on what I heard. But did the Mountain West put out a feeler to Gonzaga basically to join them and play basketball with them? Because to me, Gonzaga have proven they can play with anybody. We've seen this. They can play against the Arizonas. I mean, hell, they could play in the Pac-12. They'd get worn down, obviously. They wouldn't dominate in the same way they do now. But it seems like it's almost pointless that Gonzaga play in this crap. They shouldn't be playing the Loyola fucking Marymount's of the world. Like Gonzaga right now to prepare, they shouldn't be playing the San Francisco Dons of the world right now, Dave. But they are. And St. Mary's plays it even, at least Gonzaga play tough teams. St. Mary's don't. So I never really know how good St. Mary's are. Yeah, you beat Loyola Marymount. You beat Pepperdine. So what? Fuck. I don't know how good you are. And it's pretty clear that the committees never really think they're very good because there's been times, Dave, where they're 25-4 and shit, and they don't get into the tournament.
Yeah, one of the problems St. Mary's has is they absolutely cannot get a big non-conference home game. They can't get anybody from a power conference to come to that little gym that they play in. So it comes down to economics. When you're a small school, how big of a road trip can you afford to take? Well, they're non-conference road games this year. Now think about this. At San Jose State, at California. They could have bicycled to the California game. You take Uber over to San Jose State. You don't even spend money on a team bus.
That's a good point, Dave. Like if they could get Stanford and Cal on the schedule every year,
they can only get them on the road though. Yeah, they can. If they're going to play Stanford or Cal, it has to be a road game. Stanford and Cal will not play in the St. Mary's building.
But at least then they can say, listen, we beat a couple of Pac-12 teams. Now, I know both those teams were down this year, but if you're St. Mary's, you can't feel bad for them, Dave. They reap what they sow, basically, with their schedule when they put themselves in this position. I think they're getting in anyways, though.
And they've got a couple of bad non-conference losses. They've got a loss to Washington State on a neutral that's going to look real bad. A loss to Georgia on a neutral that isn't horrible, but it doesn't help. But yeah, the Mountain West has talked about Gonzaga, which would be great for the Gonzaga program. But if they can make it a package, the idea is if you get Gonzaga, then you likely get Brigham Young because the Mountain West could really use Brigham Young for football, and Brigham Young football could really use a conference right now.
BYU's got to give up this independent shit. Yeah, it's funny, Dave. Me and Cam Stewart were talking about this today. We were talking about BYU basketball, actually, and we brought up, remember in the old days, Dave? I don't know old days, but let's say 10 years ago, 12 years ago, etc. Remember BYU and UNLV was a big rivalry. It was a hot ticket. And, the Mountain West had a nice little thing going there. If you're BYU, you're better off in the Mountain West playing against these teams as well. You're in nowhere's land right now. And it would help everybody. And if you're Gonzaga, whatever. You don't play football anyway, so play basketball in the Mountain West. At least you're playing against, a little bit more high profile, but you brought it up. The Mountain West is better off being on it late at night on ESPN than being the big dogs on CBS Sports Network. Dave, nobody has CBS Sports Network.
No, and keep in mind there are a couple of other things that are going to happen, and I think this would appeal to BYU. The minute UNLV starts to play in Raiders Stadium, that changes the profile of UNLV football entirely. In fact, you raise the power rating 3 points, just moving from arguably the worst facility in Division I, Sam Boyd Stadium, to what might become one of the best stadiums, because now kids are going to want to go and play for UNLV when they see the stadium that they're going to be able to play in. So that's going to entice Brigham Young a little bit. We've written about the Brigham Young problem in Point Blank a few times. If you look at their schedules into the future, they're playing Massachusetts. every year in November, because if you're not in a conference, you can't find teams to play. Everybody's locked up playing conference games around that time, so you scrap for what's left. So they don't want to be out there playing in New Mexico State, playing in Massachusetts. They want to become relevant again. So I think the Mountain West would make sense all the way around. And now what happens if you get Gonzaga and Brigham Young, you get back on ESPN again. You get a better deal. So this could be big for the conference all the way around. How soon can it happen? Still going to be a little while. It will not happen for next season, but possibly as early as maybe 2019, 2020, we might see that realignment. Doesn't help Saint Mary's. They don't have a chance to elevate. They will just be left alone to dominate a weak conference.
Well, Dave, you brought it up as far as the 159.5, 160 being a little bit too high in the Gonzaga game. Dear God, fuck. I'm really sweating this out, and it just got there, Dave. They just hit a three to get to 143 with 1 minute left. And as you were mentioning, God knows in this last minute, man, who's going to get on the court. Gonzaga won't shoot the ball, and maybe it's like, who knows, in the last 30 seconds. I'm glad that was a real sweat job, man. I was panicking. They just hit a three to get it to 143. San Francisco just scores 145. But I tell you, Dave, this turned into a little bit of a sweat job to get the over, but we got a winner.
It's what I love about this particular week, and you and I've talked about this a lot on past shows. I like this week better than next week. First, we're going to get wall-to-wall starting tomorrow with the ACC. But from a pageantry standpoint, there's a lot of color here. But from a betting standpoint, this is the toughest week of the year for the odds makers. Guys on the West Coast don't have it so bad. So guys like Pete Corner, Keith Glantz, guys that live out here have it okay. But if you're an odds maker and you live in Costa Rica, or if you live on the East Coast, you've got to make Thursday's prices going to bed not knowing Wednesday's scores. Unless someone is staying up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast for some of these games on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night, it's a quick turnaround. Usually odds makers always have this anticipation where, okay, Stanford plays UCLA tomorrow. Here's the price. Well, guess what? If you don't know who's playing tomorrow and you've got that tough turnaround, this is a challenge for the odds makers. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this week, talk to anybody who makes prices. They'll say they're among their biggest headaches of the entire year because they just don't get that much chance to sort through the results from the night before.
Dave, normally it's 30 minutes after the game ends, actually, but I'm seeing 11:30, so it looks like it'll be 45 minutes in between. Is it 11:30 Eastern? Are they going to go 8:30 Eastern, or do you think they'll go at 11:15 here?
No, because it's on television, it's already blocked for that. So
they slotted it in, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's your final 148, the gentlemanly closeout, the last couple of minutes. Get ready for a whole lot of those, though, folks, over the course of the next few days. Again, when underdogs can't win anymore, part of it is the season's over, but for the seniors, it means your career is over. That's a different type of feeling when you know that it's all done. So you don't see too many back doors happen in those types. But if it's a favorite that has to play the next day, just want to get your kids off the court as quickly as possible. And this could be a bit of an edge. Again, for Gonzaga going into tomorrow, Gonzaga can get their kids in bed halftime of the Brigham Young game. Get them in bed at a normal hour. It's going to be tough for the Brigham Young Saint Mary's winner, given how much time it takes you to wind down after a game, and sometimes these kids will have a post-game meal. These kids likely don't get to bed till about maybe 12:30 tonight. So that is an edge that Gonzaga will have in terms of the turnaround.
I wonder how they'll study, Dave, because remember, they are student athletes, right? The NCAA is all about the goodness of the athlete, and I think that the goodness of the athlete is for the athlete to be eating at the Orleans casino at fucking 2 a.m, right?
Well, we could do whole shows on this stuff.
I love it. Like, they have all these rules, and no, it's not because we're greedy. No, we can't give them cream cheese on the bagel. It's about the rules and the sanctity of the sport. And then you got these guys playing a fucking casino on a Monday night at fucking 1:30 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we do look at when you get to tournament time is who's already on spring break. And that's still a week or two away for most of the schools. But if you're on break, makes it easier on the kids to just focus on basketball. Of course, if you're a team like Kentucky with all freshmen who aren't coming back next year anyway, academics don't matter quite as much. But we'll talk about spring break a lot. You know what? We'll talk about it next Monday night. We will talk about it because there are going to be so many NIT games.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in empty buildings because there'll be teams playing a home game when the students are away on spring break. And that can be worth about a point, maybe even a point and a half for some of the home court advantages. So one of the things that'll be fun to talk about next Monday, people say, oh, here comes the big dance, talk about your brackets. No, two things for the NIT. The travel scramble. Because you're finding out on Sunday night who you're playing, and it's almost always a place you've never been to before. So now your athletic director, if you're at a school like Georgetown and you got to go play New Mexico State, real quickly the AD's got to figure out, okay, how do we get to Las Cruces? What hotel do we stay in? Then the coaches, as quickly as possible, have to find some way to find game video. Where can we find game video of New Mexico State? Well, they get on YouTube and other things, and they try to track stuff down. We'll talk about some of these next Monday. Who's got the toughest travel cycles to get to where they have to play, and which schools are on break, which means that home court advantage isn't going to be that special. By the Portland and the Lakers off to a real slow grinder out here right now.
9-6, 6 minutes. 6 minutes into the game, 6:05 left in the first quarter of play. 9-6. Portland now -3.5. In-game is plummeted, Dave, total to 214.5.
And hanging on to win tonight, and a team that we should probably be talking about the next week, the San Antonio Spurs had to gut out a 1-point win at home over Memphis. It's not that the Spurs would be tanking for a draft pick because they can't fall down that far. But could a case be made that Popovich and some of those veterans really don't want to play the Warriors or the Rockets? And if San Antonio has a choice to be 7th, 8th, or out completely, I wouldn't be surprised if that's one team that said, we'd rather be out completely. If we can't beat those guys, we know what it's all about. Let's start our offseason a little bit earlier. But that was a shockingly close game tonight. San Antonio closed -12.5, had to hang on to win the game by 1.
Kind of kicking myself. I wanted to jump on the Memphis Grizzlies. We should add, too, Dave, that the Grizzlies basically played sent out a lineup full of guys on 10-day contracts, basically. It was essentially a G League team. I mean, they were beaten down as far as bodies were concerned, but they hung around. I'm sweating out the Orlando Magic right now, Dave. Thought the number was just a little bit too high in this basketball game. And, often I got radio shows. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I screw up, Dave, sometimes. I don't get the game in on time, or I got my money tied up. I'm not betting with credit, so I got my money and I'm rolling stuff over, etc. And I just missed the tip-off. But there's live in-game for everything, so I don't really stress. But I ended up getting 11.5 with Orlando, but I'm hoping that, people that got it at 9.5 that it was early in the day can pull this out. I was hoping it wouldn't be as close to the number as it is right now, but maybe we can backdoor this 79-70 with 8 minutes left.
Yeah, something readers of Point Blank would know that we did a feature on last week. Real struggles for the Utah offense right now. Looks like this is going to stay comfortably. And it's going to be 5 unders in 6 games since the All-Star break. That defense is legit. But if you look at this Utah offense, since last year, you lose Rodney Hood, you lose Joe Johnson, you lose George Hill. Hill hadn't played at all for them this year.
Gordon
Hayward. You've lost 4 guys that made real offensive contributions. You added Donovan Mitchell, who's a scorer, but Mitchell's also been a turnover machine. That Utah offense is a little ragged right now. Defense is great. From this point on, they'll play defensively about as well as any team in the NBA will. I'm not sure the pieces fit on that offense. So the markets have been a little slow in adjusting the Utah totals down to where they belong. But this will be 5 out of 6 under since the All-Star break for them. Market's not setting the prices right.
All right, Dave. So before we let you go, you mentioned the ACC tournament. I want to talk a little Big Ten too as well, but let's take a look at this ACC stuff. right now. ACC, similar to the Big Ten, playing in New York, playing in Brooklyn at the Barclays, not MSG. The Big East gets MSG. But Georgia Tech and Boston College, first game up, noon Eastern tomorrow, Dave. And, Boston College laying 2 points in this basketball game. What do you make of this one, Dave? Or, if you don't have an opinion, what do you make of the ACC tournament as a whole? But what do you make of this game here?
Talking about the game itself, can't do much with it, though, because BC, a team with no depth but with a good chemistry, and sometimes lacking depth builds a chemistry. They got two kids that are question marks right now, Jerome Robinson and Stephon Mitchell. Robinson's got an elbow injury. Mitchell's dealing with a hamstring. Really couldn't do anything because, first, Robinson is a critical player in their schemes. The type of guy that might be worth a point and a half somewhere else. He's worth 3.5 for Boston College because they just don't have any way to replace him. So can't really do much with it. I don't like the ACC tournament. They're trying to figure out a way to include every team. And you just can't make a tournament work with a field that big. The teams that are playing tomorrow would have to win 5 games in 5 days. Not ever going to happen. It's just not possible. But even if you look at some good teams out there on Wednesday, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, Louisville, Florida State, they've got to win 4 in 4. And it's too unwieldy. So I don't think the ACC can have a realistic way of having every team in the field. They're going to have to at some point say, okay, the bottom 4 don't make the tournament. It's just not realistic that they go out there and win 5 in 5. I don't know how long I'm going to live. I try to eat right. I try to exercise right. No one's going to win 5 in 5 in my lifetime in the ACC. So if I've got another 30 years in me, no team in the ACC over the next 30 years is going to win 5 games in 5 days. It's just too difficult. Puts a lot of pressure on Syracuse here because Syracuse might need to win twice to make the NCAA tournament. That's a team without a lot of depth that's going to have to play a real good, fresh opponent on Wednesday. So there's an uphill battle for Syracuse.
Notre Dame and Pitt, Dave, this season, you talk about teams. You got to talk about teams being the last game of the year. This is it. There's no tournament. There's no, you got your CBI, you got your CIT, you got your NIT. Fuck, isn't there another one? Wasn't there like the Las Vegas Invitational or something too? I don't even fucking.
They tried. Nobody showed up, so it didn't work.
Yeah, they dropped that one, right? Yeah, I thought they caught
the teams barely showed up.
Yeah.
Much less any fans.
Yeah, but the kids on Pittsburgh, this is it for them. This season mercifully comes to an end tomorrow. They played a couple of weeks ago, and Notre Dame beat them by 17. Dave, what's your take on the Irish here? And how many games can the Irish play themselves in? I mean, maybe if they won 4 games or something, right? What do you make? Will the committee show any mercy to Notre Dame because they had so many injuries this year?
This is where we'll find out if the committee is really a committee, because the reason why you have them there is to process through things like this. When everybody's healthy for Notre Dame, that's a Sweet 16 level team. Bonzie Colson, though, missed more than half the season. Matt Farrell happened to miss 4 games when Colson was out. They had a real tough stretch during that time. They lost DJ Harvey. Can the committee, if the committee sits it and does their job properly, say, you know what, this team right now absolutely belongs in not only belongs in the field, but you can give Notre Dame a 6 or 7 seed, right now. Will they do that? That's going to be one of the biggest questions. Now, Notre Dame can take care of that by winning, maybe winning 3 games and they automatically make it. I think they've got a good shot to win 2. And think about this on Wednesday. You will not get tired from playing Pitt. You get a nice little workout at the Barclays Center in the afternoon. Notre Dame, instead of being tired on Wednesday, might be better prepared than the team they're going to face, because they got to have a nice little and again, a big difference between afternoon and night. When you win an afternoon game, the kids get hydrated, get to bed early, no problem at all regenerating. Notre Dame might be a nice bet on Wednesday because they'll be more accustomed to the setting than the team that they're going to be up against.
Dave, we got Syracuse tomorrow. You mentioned Jim Boeheim and the Cuse. They're at 19 right now. They're 19 and 12. It's funny, Dave, because you mentioned Notre Dame's injuries. Notre Dame were 8-10 in conference play this year. Syracuse 8-10 in conference play right now. You know, Boeheim is a light guy. He's got juice. He's been around a while. Syracuse is a brand name. But stuck on 19 right now, Dave. They can't lose this game to Wake Forest. They lose this game to Wake Forest, you know, they'll be staying in the state of New York, playing in the NIT. They need to win a couple of games. I don't know. Maybe they win one. 20 will be enough for these guys. What do you make of the Cuse? Or what do you make of this number? This is sort of the interesting game tomorrow in the ACC. Tomorrow night, Syracuse laying 4 points.
I'd like to see Syracuse win enough to get in because they could actually make some noise in the NCAA tournament. They could win a couple of games because their zone is so active this year. So in the tournament, when they would play teams that hadn't faced them before, that zone is so good at taking the ball away, so good at blocking shots near the basket. But now Wake Forest has already played them twice, so they're familiar with that zone. And the issue with Syracuse, it's all about depth. So how about this for Tyus Battle? Played 18 ACC games. He played 1 minute over. He played 721 minutes, which means he played 1 minute over a full 40 minutes per game. I can't remember ever charting anybody that did that, and that was because of overtime. So here's a kid that's actually averaging more than 40 minutes per game in conference because they just don't have anybody else. Frank Howard also played 700 minutes for them. They just don't have the depth. They can beat Wake Forest. Wake Forest has a lot of bricklayers. So you put bricklayers against that zone in the Barclays Center, they can beat Wake. The problem is, even in beating Wake, Battle and Howard may have to go the entire game. So if they go the full 40, what will they have left against North Carolina on Wednesday? That becomes real difficult for them. So it's enough about, I hope Syracuse makes it to the big dance. They could get through the first weekend. That defense is good enough. And again, when you get to the big dance, depth doesn't matter that much anymore. But here, I just don't think they can get past the Wednesday night game. They should beat Wake. I don't think they can win in the second round.
And Dave, finally in closing, before we let you go, your take on Alcorn State and Prairie View A&M. I'm just kidding, Dave.
I can give you my take real quickly.
Yeah, no take on Alcorn State and Prairie View A&M, huh?
It's one of the things that I talk about a lot is if you're going to beat the game in the long run, you need to really know the teams you're dealing with. And I can't name a player for either of them. And it's not to put down guys who like the action, but you think about how many people come in for the NCAA tournament and they'll bet real money on teams they've never seen before, have no idea, put it out there expecting to win it. And I know what it takes to be able to grind over time. And I could not name a single player in the entire Southwest Athletic Conference tournament. Not one. Actually, same thing for the America East. So a lot of this stuff on the board tomorrow night, I will be nowhere near it. I may sneak over if Bob Scucci can get me some good seats or a good seat, one ticket. If Scooch can come over with a ticket, I may sneak over to the Orleans Arena tomorrow night, though. That's a good environment, whether it's Saint Mary's or Brigham Young. Again, it doesn't matter who wins that game. Yeah, that'll be a good environment there tomorrow night.
So I assume, Dave, I expect you're going to wear like a tan, like naked bodysuit, and you're going to be under the basket, like distracting free throw shooters?
It depends on whether I have under or over. Remember, that's only if you have an under bet. Otherwise, you sit and you just sort of let that flow play itself out. But I tell you the one thing I've liked about that tournament, they've settled in at the Orleans. It's been a lot of years now. And you've been over there. If people don't get off the Strip too often, the Orleans is a nice property. I actually like it better than some of the bigger Strip hotels. A little better service. People are a little bit friendlier. Orleans is not a bad place. So people talk about coming out here at tournament time and they want a place to stay. A decent sports book, but not a bad place to hang. And, of course, we should say, too, for people coming to Las Vegas, arguably the best eye candy of the entire year is the Pac-12 tournament. So if you're coming out here to Vegas this week, you want to find your way over to the pool at the MGM. Yeah, you're going to have to see Bill Walton with a shirt off, which nobody wants to sit through. But in terms of eye candy, and this is not just a homer talking, not just because I live on the West Coast. I will put the Pac-12 women up against women from any conference in the United States. So it's a wonderful eye candy week for people coming out for the Pac-12 tourney. And you're going to miss that by a few days.
I can't argue it, Dave, and we really will end with this. But, yeah, you and I have been talking a lot about Michigan over the last month or so and about those 80-1s out there. It's now 28-1. Beeline, back-to-back Big Ten conference tournament champions. This guy's just the king of March. Got them into the championship game against Louisville, but Louisville were cheaters and they beat us. But, Michigan for real. But speaking of that, Dave, I got to be honest with you. The Michigan cheerleaders were getting a little homely over the years. It's the best way of putting it delicately here. Not up to par for a big-time program, Dave. And Michigan basketball, I got to tell you, Dave, I don't know. They almost look like UCLA Bruin cheerleaders in Michigan uniforms. I don't know if there was a change in the director of the cheerleading team, Dave, where somebody said, listen, we've got to raise the level of our game here, but really, really raise the level of the game, Dave. Next Michigan game, check it out. It's much, much improved.
I will certainly do that. It was a pleasure watching, even though there was a little bit of a sweat in the first round, but something we talked about on the show last Monday night. Instead of taking 8-1 to win the Big Ten tournament, if you just rolled over the money line across those 4 games, some guys had some nice little paydays coming out of that.
No respect against Purdue going in. I get it against Michigan State on the Saturday, but you figure after all that it would have been like 2 or something like that, not going up to 4.5. I went up to 5.5, back down to 4.5, Dave. I thought the odds makers are smarter than I am. Like Lawrence says, always respect the book. But at the same point in time, they really fucked up with giving Michigan plus 180 on the money line on Sunday.
No, and one of the things that we wrote about, in Point Blank, Michigan got a little bit of a break on Thursday, and the foul trouble for Abdur-Rahman and Wagner, that actually helped. Those kids weren't on the floor that much. In the Iowa game, that helped them stay just a little bit fresher. And also Friday and Saturday, both, they go to bed long before the Purdue kids. They get their game over with first. So even though it was a 4-4, Michigan did not look tired at any time. Michigan looked fresh. They looked composed. As we talked about on this show last week, no one's going to outcoach John Beilein from this point on. There might be some coaches who might match him, maybe hold their own against him. Nobody will beat him in terms of X's and O's. But even that 28-1 that you mentioned, that's a real hard find right now. You're not going to get great value with Michigan. Now what I think is a plus for them, especially for them, getting a full week off. So now that whole 4-4 goes away. The teams that might be hurt a little bit, teams like Michigan State that didn't get to play that much in New York, they've got a chance to be a little bit rusty. I think Michigan now gets helped by getting this next week off. No surprise at all if we're still talking about Michigan all the way into the Final Four week. And possibly, I'm just thinking about this now, we're going to be on the air during the championship game?
Yeah, I guess we would be. Yeah.
Now this is.
They might do some special betcast or something, Dave. It might be a little bit different circumstances, but yes, I imagine we would be.
This is something we might have to. I got to be a little bit careful with this because to be on the air with you if Michigan's playing, that's a different type of show. No, it really is because I can get pretty into it, Dave. I'm pretty mellow now. I'm casual. I got money on the Blazer game, but it is what it is. 27-24 after 1, but Michigan in a championship game would be another level, Dave. Like I'd have to sort of would set the camera up on the wall type thing behind my TV. I wouldn't be able to just sit still at the desk here for sure. I'd be pacing and yelling and getting up and I'd be getting into it. So that's going to have to be a consideration. Or if we could have you out here in Vegas again, part of what you will be doing here next week, and maybe we'll get. I watched Michigan lose to Louisville at Green Valley Ranch. Yes, and we could get some of your professional opinions on this stuff because again, not only coming out of for the tournament, it's the first annual Gabriel Morency bakery tour, of Las Vegas. And I think that's something that's pretty
significant. Can you hook us up with Bill Walton? That'd be great, Dave. Wouldn't that be great TV too? We film. We'll all go out. Me and Bill Walton going on a bakery tour together. Bill Walton's going to check out some of the local places. But yeah, no, that's the first thing I'm going to do, Dave. When I arrive, 10 o'clock or so on that Wednesday night, I'm already on top of it. There's a dispensary that's open 24 hours a day, right near Trump's place, actually. On that, I think if it's what road is it? Whatever the hell the road is, industrial. Yeah, industrial. Exactly. Pretty close to Circus. Open 24 hours a day. So I'm going to get my taxi driver right from the airport, right to the dispensary before I check into my hotel. So I'll be ready to go.
We're looking forward to it. Again, we will have, as always, the red carpet is ready to be rolled out yet one more time.
Always a pleasure, Dave. We'll speak to you tomorrow on the radio. Thanks for the time.
Looking forward to it. Good luck tonight.
There's Dave Morency with his great stuff with the professor, as always. Thank you, Dave. Give him a round of applause. I said give him a round of applause. Dave Morency, everybody. Dave Morency. All right, settle down, everybody. Settle down. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, man. We got a live crowd tonight. Boy, did you see the news today? Did a great job here, like Jay Leno. Just crack a couple of bad jokes. Crowd's going crazy. Well, I got to tell you, I drove in today. Man, the smog in LA, everyone. Crowd's rowdy tonight. Crowd's rowdy. Don't slam the fucking door, Tony. Still the best line ever. Doesn't matter. Don't slam the fucking door, Tony. Don't slam the fucking door, Tony. It's the delivery, the way he said it. Fuck. Doesn't make any difference to me. Don't slam the fucking door, Tony. He doesn't yell it, but you can tell he's about to kill Tony. Don't slam the fucking door, Tony. All right, so we have something new that we'll be adding. We have something new that we'll be adding to the rotation. This is a shout out to Degenerate Dean for passing it our way, but this is Drew Doughty. And I'll tell you what, Drew Doughty as well, Drew Doughty of the LA Kings. I dropped the puck, all right? I dropped the puck in an Ontario Hockey League junior game a couple of years ago. Kitchener Rangers and the Guelph Storm. That's why I have that Guelph Storm jersey and shit. Because I was a guest of the Kitchener Rangers, but the Kitchener Rangers, they didn't really it was set up for me to drop the puck and stuff. They didn't give me anything. They gave me like fucking a couple of tickets. They gave me like 2 beer tickets and like hot dog tickets. And like they let me keep the puck. They're like, and here's the puck. And so I dropped the puck, and the Guelph Storm contacted me after I dropped the puck, and they were like, listen, fuck the Kitchener Rangers. I said, seriously, the Guelph Storm contacted me, and they were like, listen, we're big fans of yours. All the kids on the team fucking are big fans. We were really excited when you were at the game the other day, but we didn't like that you were, with Kitchener. And they said, fuck Kitchener. Here, you're part of the Guelph Storm now. And they sent me like, look. I still have it. Sorry, Kitchener Ranger Ray. Look, I have my official. This is rare. Not a lot of people have this jersey. It's a badass jersey, this one. It's the official one, too. It's the one the players wear. Guelph Storm, man. Yeah, so I know that, all right, Big Man, I'll check in a second here. I know, see, the thing is, guys, Kitchener Ranger Ray, I love you, Ray. I love you, buddy. But the thing is, this is like Auburn, Alabama. They fucking hate each other. The Kitchener Rangers and the Guelph Storm hate each other. So anyways, when I dropped the puck, Gabriel Landeskog was the captain of the Kitchener Rangers. So Landeskog, like, I shook his hand. Except when I came out on the ice, the Guelph Storm players were all like, hey, fucking right, man. It's the guy from the Score. Drew Doughty was stoked. Drew Doughty was like, hey, man. And I was over there, and I looked over, and I was like, fucking, hey, man. And Drew Doughty was like clapping his stick on the ice. And he was like, fuck, that's the guy from the Score. And I shook Drew Doughty's hand and shit. He came over, and I shook Doughty's hand. And he's like, he's like a big fan of the show. And like, the Guelph Storm were all fucking stoked. So, long story short, I've heard over the years that Doughty's a fan, fuck. Right? Joe Thornton's a rageaholic too. Joe Thornton likes sports rage too. So I heard over the years, yeah, Drew Doughty's a fan of yours and shit. He likes the show and shit. And you can tell, man, Drew Doughty, the guy got, fucking Joe. Like, Drew Doughty's a great hockey player, and he's a big partier. How can I love this guy? Great player, great. Sound like Don Cherry. Great Canadian kid, fuck. Drew Doughty, great kid from Guelph. So when I heard Drew Doughty and him melting down last night, I thought, fuck, you're gonna tell me that this guy hasn't listened to me before. This is Drew Doughty. This is Drew Doughty last night in the penalty box.
What a fucking joke! I'm a favorite stick, for fuck's sakes! Watch it, you fucking asshole! Fuck! What a fucking joke! I'm a favorite stick, for fuck's sakes!
I love the fuck!
Watch it, you fucking asshole! Fuck! What a fucking joke! I'm a favorite stick, for fuck's sakes! Watch it, you fucking asshole! Fuck!
Man, it's right in my wheelhouse. For fuck's sakes, fucking asshole, and fuck. Yeah, it's like Drew Doughty, like watches the show every night. For fuck's sakes, fucking asshole, and then just a random fuck. He's yelling at the referee. The ref's like, language. He's like, fuck you. You fucking asshole.
What a fucking joke! I'm a favorite stick, for fuck's sakes! Watch it, you fucking asshole! Fuck!
just awesome. He knocks all the check marks out of the box there. For fuck's sakes, you fucking asshole. And then a random fuck. And the best is the ref. Language. He's like, for fuck's sakes, language, you fucking asshole. That's the beautiful thing, though, about hockey, guys. It is the only sport that you can call the referee a fucking cocksucker. like you really can't. They don't like it. And if everyone in the arena hears it, they'll give you a penalty. But I've told the story before, I'll never forget years ago in the playoffs. It was fucking hilarious, man. Martin Lapointe fucking gets a fucking penalty. Martin Lapointe with the Red Wings. He's in the corner. It's in the playoffs. It was a tense game and shit. He gets a penalty and shit. And it's all quiet and like in the arena after. He's quiet. He's skating he's going to the penalty box in Detroit. So it's kind of quiet. He's going to the penalty box. And you just hear Lapointe say to the referee, you fucking cocksucker. But he got picked up on television like 1,000%. You fucking cocksucker. He just said to the referee, like right to his face when he's going to the box, you fucking cocksucker. And then when they come back, so they go to a commercial break, and that's the last thing you hear is you fucking cocksucker. But he did it in a high-pitched voice. He's like, you fucking cocksucker. And he goes, so he's going to the box. They come back from the break, and he's sitting in the box, and he looks all fucking more pissed off. And they're like, yeah, while you were gone, Martin Lapointe got tagged another 2 minutes for obscene, what was it? Fucking objectionable conduct or whatever. Fuck. Objectionable conduct because he called the ref a fucking cocksucker. Now, look, you call the umpire in baseball a fucking cocksucker, you're getting kicked out. You call an NBA referee a fucking cocksucker, you're getting kicked out of the game. You just heard Drew Doughty fucking call the guy a fucking asshole. Go fuck himself. It's a terrible key. What did he say? It's a terrible call, you fucking asshole. Then he's like, language. He's like, fuck. Watch fucking you fucking. It's so unsportsmanlike. Thank you, Olin. It's just so motherfucking hilarious, his meltdown here. Fucking terrible fucking call.
What a fucking joke! Language! Grab a language stick for fuck's sakes! Watch it, you fucking asshole! Fuck!
Watch the language. He says, watch it. You watch it, you fucking asshole. That's awesome.
What a fucking joke! Language! Grab a language stick for fuck's sakes! Watch it, you fucking asshole! Fuck!
The dude that works in the penalty box here, he looks like he's trying not to crack up. And he's also worried because Doughty's smashing his stick. I should know. Doughty's like smashing his stick. He's throwing a tantrum. He throws his gloves and shit in the penalty box. There was a great gift tonight of the guy at the Buffalo. Hockey guys are the best fucking, when it comes to like telling each other to go fuck themselves, the hockey guys, it's so Canadian. Like, they're just like, go fuck yourself. And I don't know, who was it? The guy in the Sabres says to Kadri, we play 4 more times. Like, he's in the box and he's trash talking Kadri. They're both in the penalty box. He's like, we play 4 more times. Kadri's like, you fucking idiot. We play 3 more times. It's fucking gold. There's no audio to it. You can read their lips, though. You can see him. We play 4 more times. 4 more times. Kadri's like, you fucking idiot. We play any goals up 3. You fucking idiot. We play 3 more times. It's just hilarious. When a guy tries to smack talk you and threaten to kick your ass, and you come back at him with like a number spell check, it's 3 times, you fucking idiot. Language. You fuck your language. You fucking asshole. Thanks to Degenerate Dean. Yeah, so like I said, so Van Fobb joining us late. He's wondering about the game. We're taking Sam Nunberg. Sam Nunberg's not a scumbag. Bob McNair can go fuck himself. So listen, we're taking the over in the BYU game. We already clicked it. We got the over in the BYU game. For the record right now, unbelievable. The Blazers and the Lakers, it was 9-6 after 6 minutes. They've gotten it up to 86 points right now. In-game total 231.5. 46-40 for the Portland Trail Blazers right now. We've had a pretty good night of winners, except the fucking Denver Pioneers fall short, man. I had the over 139. It gets to 134. Fuck. Fucking Pioneers fucking only scored 58 points. South Dakota Coyotes, 76. Denver Pioneers, 58 final score. T-Bone in the house. What up, T-Bone? Yeah, you know what? I'm going on the over, and even though I'm going to regret this, whatever, man. I don't think Saint Mary's are that good. I don't think Saint Mary's are that good. I think they're overrated. I think that Lawndale guy is overrated. I don't think they're that good. I watch them play against Gonzaga. They fucking sucked. Watch them play against Pepperdine the other night. They fucking sucked. They were lucky to beat Pepperdine, man. It was fucking Pepperdine. And I know that doesn't make all. The problem is BYU aren't that great either. Fuck. BYU, you got a bunch of gangly white dudes that are going to be bombing threes all day. Fuck, you know? BYU, they're just, they're big dudes, BYU. They're grown men, BYU. So they're mentally tough, at least. You know they're going to play hard. Except, I brought it up with Malinsky. BYU are so freaking dependent on that three ball. The thing about BYU is Dave was saying he doesn't know if they can handle Lawndale's size, but BYU are big kids, man. BYU have a bunch of 6'9", 6'10" kids and shit. BYU are tall. I don't know, man. I know, like I said, I like the over better. I like the over better, but I'm taking BYU here, guys. 5 minutes to tip off. Let's go. Fuck St. Mary's. No offense to any St. Mary's fans, but fuck St. Mary's. I don't know. St. Mary's has pissed me off. You guys have pissed me off enough over the years. I like the over this game, though. You know what I would take a look at here, too? BYU first half. The way I see this, I think BYU will hang around and St. Mary's will probably fucking go on a little bit of a run. St. Mary's do always beat them. That's the problem. But I think BYU hang around early here. We're getting 3 in the first half. This is ballsy, but whatever. Like our boy T-Bone, who's in the chat, says here, you're scared, go to church, fuck. Let's go with T-Bone, Vegas T-Bone. We brought up the story today, T-Bone, with Cam about China in the casino. So he didn't really fully remember it. All right, yeah, we took BYU. And you know what? This is ballsy, but whatever, man. Like I said, we're here to gamble. We just took BYU +3 in the first half. So I got BYU +6. I got the over in the game, and I just took BYU +3 in the first. Call me crazy, but I think BYU come out smoking here tonight. Let's get this shit. 50-44 for the Portland Trail Blazers. Of course, we're on the Blazers and we're on the over in this game. 50-44, 3.5 minutes left in the first half. St. Mary's and BYU tipping off in 2 minutes. ESPN television. Let's check in with Drew Doughty. What's going on, Drew?
What a fucking joke! Lightweight! You're a lightweight stick, for fuck's sakes! Watch it, you fucking asshole! Fuck!
It's funny, like when the ref skates by, he's like, "You watch it." The way he says it, "You watch it, you fucking asshole." Oh, here's Jamal Taylor. Says the fix is in on BYU. See, forget about our boy Match Fixer. Whatever happened to Match Fixer? Forget about Match Fixer. Jamal Taylor. Hey, Jamal, from now on, we're just going to call you 911, Fud. You're 911. That's your new nickname. 911's here. 911's here. So it's nice to know, as Jamal, of course, believes that every sporting event, every single one of them is fixed. What's the angle here? They want to get the Mormons to win tonight? What's the conspiracy? Why do they want the Mormons to win? He's no terrorist. I didn't say you were a terrorist. I didn't say you were a terrorist. I said you're a conspiracy theorist. Big man on camera. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we got a surprise guest joining us in a moment. Yeah, I don't know, like what the Mormon. All right, Jamal Taylor. See, we don't mind if you talk shit, you go after someone, but you take pot shots, Jamal Taylor, then, you take pot shots at people, then you get yourself booted. I'm a shill for what? You'll get booted out too, Max. Yeah, I'm a shill. I'm a shill for what? Settle down. Everyone needs to settle the fuck down. As we stated, you guys want to call each other names, that's fine, but stick to morons, assholes, and all the other stuff. 55-53. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break, and then we got a special guest stepping up and in and joining us. Everybody needs to have thicker skin, but we're having a nice, we're talking sports here in basketball this evening. I don't want this turning into a shit show tonight. In the words of Winnebago Man, I don't want anyone fucking around, all right? No more bullshit. That includes me. Because the shit's going to hit the fan. Don't slam the fucking door, Tony. Fuck, it never ends with you guys. All right.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Tony. Will you do me a kindness? Fuck. Tony, do me a favor, will you please? Will you? Will you do me a kindness?
Will you?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be walking in and out of being parked up, and I got to come back.
I don't make any difference to me at this juncture. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Tony. Don't slam the fucking door. No more.
Going to give you a clue here.
Listen, I'm going to give a clue here now. I don't want any more bullshit anytime during the day from anyone. That includes me. It's going to be very hot, going to be very uncomfortable for everybody. Want anybody yelling? We get anybody yelling around here anymore today, and then the shit is going to hit the fan. And
couldn't have said it better myself. Quick break. We come back. BYU Saint Mary's. And big man on campus steps up and in.
From the corner. That three a little too strong for Tanner Krebs. Run down, though, by Calvin Hermanson. And now it is Landell in the post. Ford for three. Childs does a good job to keep it alive and hand it off to Hartman.
BYU did an excellent job on that possession. Showing him a lot of looks. Him being Landell, doubling him on the post, making sure that he kicks the ball out.
for three. That's no good again. Childs to the corner. Hartnett tries a three. Way short.
It's the right pass by Childs. Catching the ball in the paint and kicking it out.
Not looking for the basketball, Calvin Hermanson. So that was a surprise. And Gene, it would also be a surprise if St. Mary's didn't make the tournament. Is that actually possible?
Well, Archo Lenardi, our bracketologist, says that St. Mary's is in win or lose. But when we were talking to Randy Bennett, he thinks they deserve to be in, but he's not so sure they will get in if they lose. He says they're treated like a bubble team, that the WCC doesn't get the respect it deserves, that Gonzaga doesn't get the respect it deserves. So what about the number 2 team, St. Mary's? So he says they're going to play like a bubble team tonight as if they're not in.
Interesting. Now,
This guy, West Coast Conference, doesn't get the credit it deserves. You're a 2-team conference, fuck. What? You want credit for playing Loyola fucking Marymount? These fucking coaches, fuck. Oh, you will get credit, fuck. Fucking play somebody. And like Malinsky said, well, nobody wants to go there. Then fucking go to their fucking go on the road and beat them. Here, look at Wichita State. Wichita State goes into the their conference. This fucking guy. Oh, we don't get respect. Fuck, you don't get respect. I got nothing against I got nothing against I got nothing against St. Mary's, but whatever. We're on BYU right now. We bring in Big Man on campus. What's up, Big Man?
Hey, pal. How you doing?
What's going on, Big Man? Sorry, let me get this kill the sound here on the game.
and down the post, take a shoot.
9-4 BYU star. What's up, Big Man?
How you doing, pal?
Hey, good stuff. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
Same
Yeah,
to you.
I just had to get a laugh there. I stepped up. I heard Coach of St. Mary's saying, he doesn't think the West Coast Conference gets the credit they deserve, or Gonzaga doesn't get the credit. Gonzaga does get credit, but West Coast, what does he want credit for? What, beating the San Francisco fucking Dons every night?
Now, who said this?
The coach of St. Mary's.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you're on the bubble. Like, I guess, you said, I don't know if we're in, because I brought it up with Malinsky earlier. There's been teams before, Big Man. St. Mary's have been 26-4 and stuff before and not gotten in. I get the feeling that they're safely in this year. I don't think they're to me, it's not really a debate. But
no.
Coach Bennett said, I don't know. He goes, we're playing like we're on the bubble still because we don't get any credit, and the West Coast Conference doesn't get credit. You're a 2-team fucking conference, man. There's not even like a third team that's pretty good. You know what I mean? There's like a big drop-off after. Oh, you got BYU, actually. My bad. Sorry. They're the third team. And BYU's an average program.
Well, he needs to schedule like Gonzaga schedules where they're scheduling Florida and Duke and all these, they're trying to get into these tournaments. Who the hell does St. Mary's play? I mean, their toughest game this year was against Georgia.
And
in
they
a
lost.
non-conference. I
And
mean,
they lost.
you got to – you're right. You have to schedule better. I mean, there's really no excuse for Randy Bennett. Randy Bennett should know that. He's a smart coach. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't schedule tough enough. And, that's his own fault. I mean, they can go out and schedule. I'm sure, the University of Washington would give him a game. I'm sure, Arizona would give him a game if, he doesn't schedule hard enough. And that's his own problem.
Got to go on the road in the Pac-12. Deal with it.
They're in the tournament. I don't know what is he talking about on the bubble? What? There's no way. They're in easily.
Yeah, they're in. They'll be like a fucking, a 9 seed or something. But they'll.
That's him just trying to, probably talk his team up and say, okay, well,
And he's trying to keep his team focused. Exactly. We can't take anything for granted and all this.
Right.
I jumped on BYU first half as well, +3, believing that BYU would come out strong. I can't say that yet just because it's 9-4 right now. They've only played that first 4-minute interval right now. But I think, St. Mary's might pull away later. you can't overreact, big man, from one game, right? And what we saw the other night against Pepperdine.
Right.
But I didn't like what I saw from St. Mary's 2 Saturdays ago when they played Gonzaga. I didn't like what I saw. You mentioned the Georgia game, Washington State, Pepperdine the other night. I don't know. I don't think this team's that great. I think Lawndale's a little overrated too, personally. He's a good player. I don't want to rip him, but I'm not fucking losing sleep over him. I'll put it that way.
I will say I'm actually quite high on Gonzaga. I'm more high on St. Mary's than you are. I think when you look for a team that can knock off a big team. I mean, they did go into Gonzaga and win, which is very difficult to do. But you're right. Back at their place, they had a lot of trouble. Really, what you have to do is you have to wall Lando off. You can't let him just catch the ball and turn around. That's what people do to Purdue now. And if you notice, Purdue has struggled a little bit. Teams, you're not going to sneak up on a team for too long. I mean, he's been able to dominate San Francisco and Loyola Marymount, but Gonzaga is better athletes, better players, and even tonight, it's not a great match. I mean, BYU is hungry in this game. They're sick of being beaten by St. Mary's. If you read some of the quotes and watch some of the videos, BYU drew up for this game, and you're right. I mean, St. Mary's is not a deep team. They're not. They didn't play particularly well the other night, but they found a way to win, which is survive and advance in this tournament. I wouldn't run to the winner to bet St. Mary's, and I think you might have a good side taking the dog here. I wanted to take it. I wanted to take the 5.5, but I just couldn't seem to get that number until late, and I by that point just stayed off it. But
not to mention too, I've got the sound out on the game right now, but having lived in Vegas, big man, there's a massive contingent of BYU alum that live there. There's a lot of Mormons in Vegas, man. Utah's a bordering state, right?
Sure.
So there's a ton of them. They travel well. They live there. There's businesses. Like every second person in Vegas is a Mormon. People don't realize that. Like you're either a hooker, a drug dealer, or a Mormon in Vegas, essentially.
They get a good crowd out there, yeah.
Yeah, there's just no in between. So how about those Michigan Wolverines, big man? They get it done. I was talking with Malinsky earlier. No respect from the odds maker yesterday, getting plus 180 on the money line against Purdue. A struggling Purdue Boilermaker team too.
Yeah, Michigan doesn't seem to ever get any respect. And, I mean, the whole consensus at this point is if you're betting against Michigan in March, you should find a new line of work because it hasn't worked. I took them to win the conference. I thought they were really a nice play. The way they had kind of finished the season, it seemed like they kind of had gotten things going. Defensively, they played really well lately. And, Wagner continues to get better. He's really improved over his last year or two. Rockman, I'm a big fan of. And I think at this point, Gabe, it's hard to argue that John Beilein's not the best coach in the country. I mean, what he continues to do year after year, from an X and O standpoint, I don't think you can get better than John Beilein.
You're like Malinsky, your phone going off now too.
Yeah.
11-6. So got to give a little credit here. Your boy Lonzo Ball starting to step it up and get more comfortable in the association. I'm on Portland tonight, 58-55 right now, but positive run for the Lakers as of late, man. They've been playing really good basketball. Lonzo's got an awkward fucking look and shot, but listen, let's not go crazy. He hit a couple of threes the other night, but he's definitely getting more acclimated right now. The Lakers are starting to come together a bit.
Yeah, they are. They've won 9 in a row. They're what are they? I don't know. They're about 7 games out of a playoff spot. Not too far off, I guess.
Probably. I was going to say, it's a good thing you're winning all this money in college basketball, big man, because I'm counting down the days till that. I got to start looking to see when they're eliminated. But I got to tell you, it was only like the other day I realized it, because I actually brought that up the other night when you won after you left. I was like, it's a good thing he's winning, man, because fucking at least I got that Laker bet with him. And then I realized the other day, I'm like, son of a bitch, these fucking Lakers keep winning. It's a little too late, too short for them. But no, I'm impressed. Like, I really am. I'm a big Ingram fan. I'm a big Randall fan. I like these guys a lot, but I got to give credit where credit's due. Lonzo's playing good basketball. And Malinsky even corrected me and called me out with his defensive numbers, big man. He's not the sieve that he was before.
No, he's not. He's actually he's got a lot better on the defensive end. And, you look at their team. I mean, there's a lot of good players in this team. I mean, Kuzma's a surprise. I like KCP a lot. You mentioned Lonzo. You mentioned, Brandon Ingram. I think down the road, they're going to be a pretty decent team. You bring in Isaiah, he's played very well for them. Julius Randle's been out of his mind. You're right. A little too late, maybe. Hey, you never know. But yeah, Lonzo's. This is what Lonzo is. He's not and that's what I continue to try to tell. He's not a scorer. He's not going to drop 25 a game. He's a distributor. He's, if you notice now, we haven't heard from his father in a while. I think he kind of got the message. I think everything's kind of all in a way kind of working out for Alonzo. He's going to have a kid. He's got to start getting mature.
He does what every other champion athlete does, big man. He knocks a chick up and then leaves her for an Instagram model.
I've heard that. I don't know how true it is, though. I've heard it is a rumor.
Yeah, no, it's pretty true. I mean, not that I give a shit, to be honest, who he's fucking doing. But no, it's true. Like, he's posting pictures with his new chick.
Wow.
Like, listen, I guess he wasn't really with the other girl. He knocked.
I will say the other girl I've seen her on like the shows and stuff. She is fairly annoying. Like, I was wondering, like, what are you still doing here with this chick? Like, you could get, like, she's a hot girl, like, for like kind of like a high school sweetheart, and like maybe you keep her for a year or two.
I know, but he shouldn't have fucking knocked her up first. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now you're on the hook.
And
like,
you know what's also funny? LeVar actually appointed her to run. They're going to start the women's Big Baller brand thing. He actually appointed her to run that. So he's going to have some problems coming up here.
Even LeVar's growing on me a bit. I gotta admit.
He's pretty funny, honestly.
Like, this guy's a fucking clown, but I will give him respect. Like you said, big man. Like, he really doesn't give a shit about the status quo and stuff, right? Like, he really doesn't. And
what is he, Gabe? Let me ask you. And honestly answer this.
And I see his point. Like, why
he doing
my
it for?
fucking kids playing for UCLA and the NCAA fucking system for free for, right?
At the end of the day, he's doing it for his kids. That's all that matters to him, it looks like. He'll go to the end of the earth to make money and to make sure his kids are he still to this day thinks LiAngelo's an NBA player. I don't see it, but he loves his kids, and he's gonna go to the end of the earth for them, and he's done that,
Oh, here comes Saint Mary's, little bit of a run right now. See, I'm talking about Michigan, and people are talking about this future and that future. Let's be real, big man. These teams are so freakingly evenly matched for the most part that it's really, it's hard to predict the future of the NCAA tournament without seeing the bracket. When we see the bracket and the matchups, it's going to come into place a hell of a lot more and a lot easier.
Right, because you can look down the road and kind of figure it out that way. But yeah, I mean, people ask me who's your Final Four. I don't know. I got like 12 teams I want to go. I think could go to the Final Four. It wouldn't surprise me if Michigan made the Final Four. It wouldn't surprise me if, like, I think this year you'll see 2 or 3 teams make runs, like a Loyola Chicago or a Murray State. There's some really good mid-major teams coming in this year. Iona, they have the experience. They've been there. There's all sorts of teams that can make some runs. You got some conferences starting tomorrow as well, which you're going to keep punching tickets. It's open field this year, man.
Yeah. So you've been doing conference previews for all these conference tournaments. We got the game going on. All right. Now, second half has started, guys, in Los Angeles, 58-55 for the Blazers. Entertaining game. We'll be keeping our eye on this one. College game, Saint Mary, 16-15 for BYU right now. Saint Mary's starting to hit some shots, 16-15 for BYU. 9 minutes in-game total is 140.5. Saint Mary's minus 4.5 in this game. So me and Malinsky kicked the tires on the ACC a little bit, big man. And, Dave's the opposite of you. He doesn't give a fuck about, and he doesn't cap the lower tier stuff, basically. Like I busted his balls and asked him what he thinks about the Alcorn State Prairie View A&M game when he was like, what? I knew he'd have nothing. I was just busting his balls. But what do you make of this game tomorrow? Boston College, Georgia Tech. He brought up some injury problems for Boston College, but I'm looking at this and I'm really thinking, listen, how interested are Georgia Tech's kids coming up from Atlanta into Brooklyn for this game? Boston College, they're not great. They haven't been playing great basketball down the stretch, but at the same point in time, they can be capable. It seems to me that Boston College can win this game tomorrow, big man.
Yeah, they definitely can win the game, but I'm more or less looking at the under. I think 138 is a little too high for these two teams. Georgia Tech without Alvarado is pretty much lost. I mean, they can't score the basketball. You also make the point of they're not going to win this tournament. They're not going to the conference. They're not going to any other tournaments or anything. Yeah, with all the stuff that's went on off the court with this team, I mean, they're a hideous offensive team, Gabe. I mean, shooting under 42% on the season. They've won one road game all year. I think, the only thing they can really hang their hat on is they slogged this game up, and it's a low-scoring, kind of 64-59 type of game. I don't think it's out of the question. I mean, Jerome Robinson, if he doesn't play, where's the offense going to come from if you're Boston College? I think 138 is a little too high. I would have put it around 133, 134. I'm looking under, especially with the time of day that this game is starting. This is a stone cold under to me at noon. I'm looking. You already look at the total. It opened 140. It's already down to 138.5. I think it's going to keep going down, especially if Robinson doesn't play.
I can't disagree with you. I'm just laughing, big man, because I fucking was like, last week, Syracuse and Boston College, 138.5. It's fucking pretty high. I was like, it was like the same number. And I swear, dude, it was one of those nights. Remember, it was the night that fucking Villanova and who did they play last Wednesday? It was like 24-14 at the half or something, big man. It was like old school Big East night.
Yeah, you were wondering where the points are.
Yeah. And I was like, unbelievable. I got the over in the Villanova fucking Butler game. It was Villanova versus fucking who? I think it was Seton Hall. Villanova, Seton Hall, dude. It was 26-14 at the half. And I had the under in Syracuse, Boston College. And it's one of those deals, big man. Dude, it was like fucking 43-40 at the half type shit. You know what I mean?
It was dead money, yeah.
Yeah, you know the drill. It's like the college football games when we bet on those big overs. It's like fucking, remember, like, Texas Tech. Fuck, yeah, good shit, Kingsburg. You're running the ball like the Army tonight. Thanks a lot, buddy. This is looking out. Fuck.
All of a sudden, Texas Tech is running the ball every play, and they're trying to switch up everything. And they keep showing Kingsbury on the sidelines. You just want to hit him in the fucking head with a hammer. It's like, you fuck. Throw the fucking ball, motherfucker.
I don't know how that guy's an NCAA head coach, big man.
I hate Cliff Kingsbury. I think he's one of the worst in the country.
He looks like a high school coach.
He looks like he got the job because he's like, I don't know. He's probably fucking some high-level women booster,
Yeah, like, right. He's
some like old hag that has like $60 million that
she told Texas Tech, if you don't hire Cliff, the $10 million a year checks are going to stop coming in.
Yeah, and I'm gonna, I have a lot of real influence down here. My husband was a big-time oil boy. We got all sorts of money. Bring my boy Cliff in. He's a nice boy. He used to be a gardener for me. And here we go. They're, she's like 60. She likes younger guys. Cliff's there. Boom. Now he's a head football coach.
Little run for the Lakers right now. Portland's done jack shit in 3 minutes. They haven't scored 60-58.
Go Lakers.
Yeah, it's a stress job, dude. I'm not up for this, big man. I've had more winners than losers tonight. There's a lot of games going on, so I've sort of, I've been playing a lot. We're down to the BYU game and this Laker game right now, but I'm not up for a stress shot, dude. I wanted a nice, comfortable win. It looked like Portland were going to pull away earlier, but evidently not.
That's the NBA for you, huh?
Yeah. You're fucking Philadelphia 76ers, dude.
Yeah,
they're so good. They could be so good, but these fucking wild swings in their game, big man. It's unbelievable. Like, man, you're watching all this college shit. Look at last night. They got fucking smoked in the second half. They're a dangerous team. I think they could win the playoffs. They could win a round in the playoffs. If the playoffs started today, they're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers. But these fucking wild swings that they have, it has to stop, man.
Well, I mean, you look at why it's happening. It's the turnovers. I mean, they lead the league by 1.3 turnovers a game. They have the most. I mean, the next closest is the Lakers at 16. They're at 17.3. They turn the ball over too much. I mean, it's time and time again, 23 turnovers, 21 turnovers. You can't turn the ball over in the NBA and expect to win. I mean, you just can't. And these athletes are too good. I'm going to make it a point tomorrow to take 10 minutes out of my day and look back at how many leads they've blown above 15 points. I mean, it's really has to be double digits at this point. I look at this team. It happens every week, Gabe. It's happened at least 10 times they've blown a 15-point lead or more. At 20, it's probably been 7 or 8 times. It's just amazing. I don't know why the turnovers. They have to stop turning the ball over. It's 17 is way too much in the NBA. And it was a problem last year for this team as well. And that's a fucking coaching issue.
That's what I was going to say. I get the feeling, and, you know, the media doesn't pick on Brown very much, but
they do here. They do here.
For this team to take that next step, is Brett Brown the coach? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what his relationship is with the players. It seems to be all right, actually. But I wonder, you know, you have all these players, and the window of opportunity is not forever, big man, because these guys, you got these max player contracts, right? You got Embiid, you got Simmons, both of which are going to be hot commodities, and you know, you can match it in 2 years, but in 5 years type of shit. One of them could bolt, right? Salary is going to be $100 million a year in those days. Embiid's going to be fucking sought after and shit. So the window of opportunity really is in the next 3 years, I think, for the Philadelphia 76ers. And I don't know if Coach Brown's the guy to take him to the next level, actually.
No, I've not been a fan of his really ever. I would love to see them fire him and go after David Fizdale. I think David Fizdale would fit perfectly with this team. You know, they've offered Jay Wright the position in years past. He doesn't take it. You know, the problem that the Sixers also have, and I want to shout out to one of the listeners here, Rosa. I mean, or not Rosa, Daniel. They don't have a closer. They don't have someone that can take the basketball at the end of the game. They had Lou Williams. They fucking got rid of him 4 or 5 years ago. They don't have a guy. Ben Simmons can't shoot the basketball. Joel Embiid, okay, maybe, but you need that guard that can hit a jump shot. JJ Redick was supposed to be bad. He's had an inconsistent year. Covington, since he got paid, has been a fucking nobody. Dario Saric, he can't be it. Markelle Fultz, all he does is practice for the games. We never see him. Yet all we see on the fucking Twitter is him dunking and doing all this crazy shit. Why is he in the fucking game? It's like a fucking foregone conclusion that if you get drafted by this team, you have to sit out for a year. It's like a fucking red shirt. This isn't college anymore, Brett. Get these kids in a fucking game. And we've had no explanation on where this guy is. Why is he not playing? Listen, do what you got to do. Get LeBron in here. They need LeBron James. If they can get LeBron James, clearly they're right there because they need that kind of guy, that fucking star. He'll come here. There's already interest. You could tell. There's already interest. They need that kind of player because Simmons is great, but he's a point guard. You're not going to develop a shot during the season. It could take a year or two till he does that. You need to strike while the iron's hot with these young players. Throw the book at LeBron, get him in here.
But big man, we got a track meet going on here in Las Vegas right now. 26-25, new in-game total, 154.5, man.
Wow.
Talking about a total, it was 137, big man.
Yeah, too low.
I jumped on the over, and I hit it pretty nicely too, actually. But I'm on BYU here too. I got a lot of action going on here right now. I increased the limits. Come on, Portland. Fucking beat LA here.
I thought you were going to cut down on your action.
I've actually been on a nice little roll. One thing I have been doing, though, big man, and one thing I'm kind of proud of myself tonight, so I should be all right in the end. And if I'm not, hey, I deserve to lose. I bet in the same amount on every game.
Nice.
I did at least until tonight in the late night action, but I went bigger on that BYU over. I don't know, big man. I'm kind of a nut job in which I'll be very disciplined throughout the night and stuff. And then late at night when I'm doing this show, I like to go for that little extra pop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, listen, Gabe, when you see a spot you like, you go with it. Okay?
Yeah, I'm regretting the Michigan shit yesterday, but I did like it. I jumped on that at least. So Boston College, I like where you're going the under there. Pittsburgh Notre Dame at 16.5. I don't know how enthusiastic these kids from Pitt are going to be to play this game tomorrow. But let's take a look at some of the others. I'll just rattle through some of the games.
Yeah, real quick with Pittsburgh, their basketball program should not be allowed in this tournament. There are way too many teams in these tournaments. There are teams that have no business here. Pittsburgh is one of them. Pittsburgh should be their basketball program should really not be allowed to play next year. That should be their rule. It's incredible how
you don't know what you have
they've
to
gone.
God, right? Looks like Coach Dixon wasn't so bad after all.
No, Jamie was a great recruiter. He obviously wanted you back to his alma mater, but it's a disgrace how bad this team is. I can't believe how far they've fallen. And you got to ask yourself, I'll continue to ask you, and maybe someone can answer me this. Why the hell did Kevin Stallings take this job? I don't get it. It's not like it's a great place to live. It's not like it's a greit place really basketball-wise. I mean, it's decent, I guess. But you left the SEC, nice Tennessee, nice program there, a good school, great tradition. Yeah, why? I mean, Kevin Stallings might be the dumbest human being on earth. I mean, just a stupid decision. And
you know who was right up there? Your boy from Temple, Matt Rule.
Well, him too.
I got a choice: the Ducks or a team that's fucking being accused of 52 rapes.
Well, Matt Rule is he's a rescuer. He wants to save everyone under the hand of God. That's
he made it fucking worse. They lost to Liberty.
Right, and they what they won 4 or 5. How many wins they have this year? 2 or 3?
That was. I know there were a lot of big upsets this year, but that was the biggest upset. You lost to a basketball. You lost to Liberty. You're Baylor. You lost to Liberty.
Yeah, I also
playing for national titles, competing for national titles a year ago, and here you are. You can't beat Liberty.
No, you're definitely right. It was definitely one of the worst.
All right, so college football, it's not here right now. It's college basketball. So Montana State and North Dakota tomorrow. North Dakota minus 1.5 against the Bobcats. Florida A&M and Howard. Howard minus 3. Dear God, we got 10-22 versus 8-24 there.
Yeah, don't. I will say this on MEAC games. Make sure you're looking at conference numbers and not non-conference, because your non-conference numbers are incredibly skewed due to the fact that these players are pimped out by their schools to earn money, and they're incredibly overworked. Their conference numbers are what you want to look at. So, a team might be, like, for instance, Texas Southern has an incredibly bad record, but they played the hardest schedule in America. So, you look more at your conference stats, not your overall record.
I agree. All right, Florida A&M and Howard tomorrow. What else do we have here in the afternoon? Northern Arizona and Northern Colorado. Coppin State, North Carolina Central, Wake Forest, and Syracuse. And what's pretty much a must-win situation for Syracuse. Games being played in New York and Brooklyn. Advantage for the Cuse right there. And, Syracuse have dominated these guys, but they split this year. I mean, before that, they've been on a roll. Syracuse should be better than they are, big man. What do you make of this Syracuse game against Wake tomorrow? You willing to lay 4 points for the Cuse?
Not really. I think they'll win, but I think the game's close. It comes down to the wire probably. You say Syracuse needs to win. I agree, but they just, to me, are an NIT team. They just come across to me as that. And I think even if they win this game, I don't know how much this really moves the lever. This isn't a quad one win or anything. Obviously you need it. You can't lose. But I still think with the how good the bubble is this year, I don't think teams like Syracuse will get in. I don't see enough from them. I mean, you're 19-12. You don't have a ton of great wins, really. You've had some bad losses. Danny Manning, his teams always play well, but they've been hideous on the road. Just really a shit game. I'd be more interested in the other ACC game in the early morning other than this one. Syracuse should win, but they just seem to be an NIT team to me. I think even if they win, I don't know if it's going to be enough. I say it's like comes down to the wire. I don't think either team's much better than the other. I mean, Gabe, listen. Syracuse on the road shoots 38.7%. Do you really want to get involved with that kind of team?
I know. They're going to clunk themselves to victory.
That's really bad. That's really low-level shooting percentages.
Yeah, I know. They're going to clunk themselves to victory, try to will themselves to victory. A team that you and I have talked a lot about this year, big man, the Vermont Catamounts. Absolutely dominant in conference play, 16-1, getting healthier right now as well. They've been rolling. They lost to Hartford 5 games ago, but they've gotten back on track right now. There's a number. It's 12.5 tomorrow against Stony Brook. Stony Brook's 13-18 on the season, 8-9 in conference play. The two games they played this year, 69-60 and 73-62. So Vermont didn't smoke them and blow them out.
No, they didn't. And, Stony Brook seems to always find their way here. It's pretty amazing how the Seawolves always do this. They knocked off Albany, a team that, I didn't think they could knock off. Stony Brook's had kind of a tougher year, not one of their better years, but, they really grind you out. I mean, they're going to play slow. They're not going to go up and down. They want to play the game in the 60 possession mark. And like you mentioned, they had trouble with Stony Brook this year, Vermont. Stony Brook's nothing special. They barely score 70 a game. They're just going to grind you down. They want to limit the possessions. It's hard to cover 12, 13 points when you're only getting 60 possessions. Stony Brook, I think, is good enough to hang around in this game. Vermont is great. I've mentioned that to you. I think they're awesome. But this Stony Brook team played good enough defensively. They played fantastic lately. I'm willing to think this one is within 13 points. And you already look at the line, Gabe. It's come down a little bit. I mean, it opened, 13. It's down to 12, and it's straight from 12.5 down to 12. 13, I would have loved to have grabbed here. I think that the play for me, if this was 8.5, 9, maybe, but 12, this just seems like a 64-56 type of game.
LIU. I remember a couple of years ago, LIU were a nice over machine.
They still are.
Yeah, 77 points a game. They give up 77 points a game. I'm seeing 150 in a couple of spots popping up right now against Wagner here tomorrow. They played 78-74. Wagner beat them, and Long Island won at home 69-67 against these guys. Long Island are pretty consistent in getting into the high 70s, big man. You look at Wagner as well. Played into the 70s their last couple of games. What do you make of this game here?
This is how lame I am as a person. I can't wait for this game. I'm so excited to watch this game tomorrow.
Red looks a little high, doesn't it?
Say that again?
I said the number looks a little high. I'm seeing 8 here right now.
I hate to admit this just because I feel bad admitting it. I wish everyone would have got on it with me. I'm actually sitting on Wagner at 11-1 to win this conference. I also have Wagner. I bet them as well. So I'm sitting in a real good spot with this game. I love LIU Brooklyn. I've always enjoyed this team. They have a new coach, Derek Kellogg. He was at UMass for many years. Slick back hair. He has the Brooklyn look. He's perfect for this team. And, they love going up and down. They press. They like to get the ball in the hands of their guards. They have two guys down low, Joel Hernandez and Raekwon Clark, great players. Wagner's a good team, though, too. They're a slower down team. They want to play defense. Great battle between Brooklyn and Staten Island here. I think the number's a little too high as well. You look at both games this year, Gabe, 2- and 4-point margins. LIU 1-1, Wagner 1-1.
If you last year, big man, the last year they played, game went to overtime.
Yep.
And, like you said, rivals. The year before that, 76-69. The last 4 games that they've played, the largest margin of victory was 7.
Yeah, this number just seems a little too high. I think if you can get 8, I would look towards that one. I mean, Wagner is not a team that is generally going to blow teams out. They're a little bit more slow paced. They like playing defense. Great rebounding team. That's always kind of been their calling card. They're one of the better offensive rebounding teams in the country as well. And what I like about Wagner this year and what makes them so dynamic, if they get to the tournament, they're an interesting team because they can defend at a high level. The problem that they've always had with Bashir Mason's crew is they don't have offensive prowess. This year they do. They have 3 real good guards that can handle the basketball, get to the rack. They have that offensive play now that they can kind of depend on as well. It should be a great game, but as you said, history's there. I'm rooting hard for LIU. This will be my biggest future hit of the season. But Wagner, they're going to host this game. It's in Staten Island, so they're going to have that home crowd as well. It should be a great game. I strongly urge you. You look at these other games, that Radford game. This game will be just as good, I'd imagine.
Guys, the Portland Trailblazers have been outscored 19-4 in the third quarter right now. 4 points, guys, in 8 minutes. They've scored 4 points.
How is that possible in the NBA? It's amazing.
Against the Lakers. Lakers are playing good ball, but it's not like this is the fucking this is the bad boy Pistons and Bill Lambert's fucking punching in the back of the head. You know
Golden
what I mean?
State Warriors, yeah.
It's just fucking ridiculous. 19
that's
fucking 5, man. 19 fucking 5. Like, the total's plummeting. It's amazing that it's still at 218.5, just as the Lakers have scored 19 points. But these games are roller coasters, right? So maybe then Portland goes on a little bit of a run. I'm sweating out this fucking first half here, bro. I got BYU +3.
It's not even at the half yet. Wow. Okay, yeah, it's tied up. You're good. You got to just hang
36-35 BYU.
Yep. There you go. Just need to hold on a little bit here.
What job time, big man?
No,
let's get this.
I think you're going to be okay here. Might have a second half option here with the Saint Mary's
second half number in a minute here.
Yeah.
Let's see, 36-35. I'm going to stop talking shit about Lawndale, fucking motherfucker. Hit a nice sky hook there.
He's actually real good, Gabe.
Saint Mary's fucking scores, though. 37-36. I'm only getting 3. This shit can get too bad in a hurry.
Most of these teams are shooting at a real high level, man.
Yeah.
And you haven't really seen many free throws either. The over in the second half might be where the look.
Oh, BYU fucking basket. That's big. 38-37. Get a motherfucking stop, you fucking morons. Let's go. Let's go.
No Cokes after the game if you lose.
That's what I tell them, fuck. If I was a BYU coach, I'd say, guys, Pepsi's for everybody. Let's go, fuck.
I think you're going to be okay here.
Oh, fucking charge. Fuck, I thought that looked good.
Second half over, Gabe. We got to look at that here.
I know. I went big nice on the old this game. It is now fucking total.
I mean, you're on pace for 80 points, 80 points apiece with these teams.
First fucking half total, big man, was 63.5. I didn't have the balls to hold BYU instead.
Easy winner. It's up to 75. All right, 47 seconds. You have a lead. You're going to get one more possession with St. Mary. So.
Good, all right. Yeah, BYU's got the ball. Play, milk it.
You got to get it under 30 seconds. You'll be all right.
There's a 2-second differential here. We're up by 1.
There's no 4-point play. I mean, unless they get
fouled.
fouled.
Yeah, there is. But yeah, you're right.
Very unlikely.
Able to hit this. Come on, man. This should be a nice pick. Fuck.
You need a bucket here. Then you're golden.
38. I don't even care. Just kill the clock. But yeah, 38-37. 3 ball. Boom, and they fucking hit it, big
Boom.
Man.
There you go. How about that?
41-37. Yeah, BYU +3 first half, motherfuckers.
Good call.
Thanks, big man. Yeah, man.
That's a gutsy call taking Brigham Young. You thought they would be coming out on fire. That's a good call.
My exact words, and Jack can attest to it. My exact words. Back me up, Chet. My exact words were, I think BYU's going to come out on fire. Was my exact words.
Well, the whole world's going to bet St. Mary's second half because they're down 4, and there's no way they can lose, right?
Here comes the
St. Mary's is getting fucking shredded, man. Dude, BYU shooting 61%. I think we lost Gabe. I think we did. Gabe, you there? I think we lost Gabe. I don't know what happened. His connection was going in and out. Or maybe we lost me too. I don't know.
Hey.
Yo,
fuck yeah. You froze for a second, big man. It was not on you, though. It was on me.
Yeah, no, I couldn't see you. It was weird. I didn't know if we were kicked off the air.
Shit got weird for a second there. Huh?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know, dude. Google Hangouts has not been my friend recently.
No, it's shit.
Let's see. Oh, there we are. All right, nice and clear. We're back. There we are.
But yeah, I think if you like LAU Brooklyn, I think you want to grab them now. It's probably the best number you're going to get.
All right, so I get 21-9, man. Fucking Portland, man. We're going to lose the fucking side and fucking total in this game.
What a bunch of losers.
Seriously, what a bunch of, I don't know, man. Like, fuck.
How do you get like under 10 points in the NBA?
Yeah, they've got 9 points, big man, in 10 minutes. Like less than a point a minute.
Yeah, that's pretty pathetic. All right, we need a second half line here. What the fuck's going on? What's up, college basketball? There we go. All right, St. Mary's -4, Gabe. I'm on that.
Like
I'm on that.
You are, right? Like every motherfucker, like, yeah, I would suggest, big man. So you like St. Mary's plus the minus the points.
I mean, listen, Gabe, are they really going to?
You like BYU? Wait, because I was going to say, everybody's taking St. Mary's here. Everyone's going to take St. Mary's. I think it goes up to 5 or something.
I mean, and also, are they really going to keep shooting 61%? I mean, Randy Bennett's going to make some fucking adjustments. I think the -4 looks pretty good.
What's the total?
75. So you basically need it to get to.
Yeah, I'm seeing 5 already. It's just popped up at one place.
All right, well, I'm taking 4 now then.
Yeah, I would grab the 4, big. I think it changes. So what's the score? It's 41-37.
37. So it's 78. You
right,
fucking pussies. Fuck you, you fucking motherfuckers.
What, move to 5?
Yeah, you fucking pussies. Fucking motherfuckers. I knew it, man. I
said it too. I'm like, it's going to move, man. It's going to go higher, big man. I mean, give it a couple of minutes. Guys,
fucking
does it really matter? Because whatever, 4 was back to a tie game. 5 is now they win by 1. Hey, 5.5 suddenly is 1.5. They get, I don't know if it really matters. If they come back, BYU probably melts down. Is BYU going to melt down in the second half? Probably, aren't they?
I don't know how you continue to shoot 61%. I mean, Randy Bennett should be able to make some fucking adjustments in the second half. Let me see what this is. This is kind of a good point.
I'm on BYU plus the fucking 6. It was 5.5 when I bought a half a point.
All right, we have a total. It's at 78 points they scored. The total is 75.
You got to go over the fucking.
You barely had any free throws. That's going to eat up.
Fouls and shit.
The problem that I have is the way St. Mary's pace-wise plays, the defense is going to be better. They're going to go slower. Possession is going to be more important.
I know. It's correlated, big man, because if BYU comes out hot in the second half, they're up 4.
I'll tell you what.
Let's say they come out hot, hit a couple of threes. Next thing you know, they're up 12. St. Mary's has to pick the pace up.
Yeah, but then you're also playing what if they go on a 6-0 run and take the lead? This game's going to really slow down.
Then BYU panics and starts fouling.
I think this game will be around 150. I think it'll end there. And the 75 under will make sense. I think I'm going to go under. I think I'm going to go against the grain. Listen, if they keep shooting this percentage, then, Vafangul, I lose, but I'm going to go with it. I think St. Mary's going to get back into this game. I think the game is going to slow down.
You know what's funny? You're so hot, so I hate to go against it, but I don't know, man. I'm feeling the other side.
No, listen, go with it. I mean,
you know what? BYU's not going to choke. They're not going to choke, and the fucking game will go over the set.
That's what your host. That's what you got to hope for. You need it to go over 153. I'm hoping it stays under 153.
BYU played a fucking great half of basketball.
They didn't miss. And that's really unlike St. Mary's. They're a good defensive team. And BYU's improved a lot.
Let me see the box. You have the box score in front of you?
Yeah, I do.
How many threes did they hit?
I think they only hit 4. Let me see here. Hold up. Sorry.
Because I was going to say, I'm watching, and
they had 4 threes.
Shots. The high percentage, there's a lot of putbacks, and they're getting a lot of success in the paint tonight, big man, with the pick and rolls.
Well, yeah, and the funny thing is they haven't had any threes. They've had 4. I mean, not many. They've only shot 7, and they're 4 from 7.
No, it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, fuck, they were fucking 12 of 16 from 3 in the first. That shit can't continue.
No, the reason the game went so high is because neither team missed. I mean, when you shoot 61%, I mean, that's – and the real big thing is you look at the bigs. Childs, he's a big, 18 points. He dominated. So did and the guards for St. Mary's played well. So
18 motherfucking points, huh?
Yeah, he's killed it. He's had a big game.
Landale, 6 points.
Yeah, he's not been a factor.
6 points. 3 personal fouls on Landale as well.
Yeah, he didn't play a lot. That's another reason that you got to kind of like St. Mary's. He only played.
Yeah, it's only 5. Fuck, he gets a quick foul, man. He's in a lot of trouble.
Him and Herman Hermanson haven't played really at all.
I'm going over the 75.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Someone's going to win.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. It went over to 75. Ball, let's see. Well, what are we going to get with BYU on the money line right now? Minus 115, not enough to entice me.
I mean, Gabe, look at it like this. Look how good they shot. Okay, they shot 61 and 52%, and it still only got to 78.
No, it's the tempo.
They're not going to shoot that well. That's why I took under. I think this game's going to tighten up. The first half's way different because you're kind of just running, if you're shooting well, you're shooting well. Halftime, adjustments are made. I'm telling you, possessions are going to be more important in this one. It's a close game.
I got to get to 153.
And I'll tell you what, you're not going to have unless obviously the game becomes a blowout, but I don't think you're going to have a late blowout where you're going to be down 10, you're going to be fouling 6,000 times. This is going to be one of those things where from 3 minutes to the end, you're not going to see a ton of stoppages, I don't think. And then the refs aren't really, you look at the foul discrepancies. These teams have shot 9 free throws combined. It's not that many.
I know.
It's not a lot, actually.
I know. I got to tell you, big man, I'm fired up for the second half to start now.
Yeah, I think we should just do a bet cast. Let's just fuck it, do a bet cast.
I'm fired up for the second half.
Little play-by-play.
This motherfucking Laker Blazer game, man, unbelievable. Fucking totals down to 213. Blazers are within striking distance, though. It's not as if though, it's 80 to 73. The Lakers played a great fucking quarter here. Maybe the Blazers can step this shit up in the fourth. Problem with the Blazers is they're just so dependent on fucking Lillard.
Yeah, they are. McCollum, too.
Lillard goes cold. They go cold. It's a fucking problem for them. All right, so second half. Let's bring this shit on, man. Let's do this. All right.
So you took the over. You're definitely on the over.
I'm on the over. I clicked it. Over 75.
Yeah, well, fuck off. Hopefully I win.
I know. Fuck. It's going to be a problem, big man.
So I talked to our buddy Babano today.
Oh, you did? Anyway, he wasn't at a fucking...
I'll tell you what, man. That kid
at a Porridge Festival today or something?
That kid is... I know we fuck with him, and, he kind of... he's funny, though, man. He makes me laugh, man. Every time... just his tweets, like the way he tweets stuff, like... Yeah. He's just funny, like...
Babano's one of these guys... Exactly. That's funny without trying to be funny.
He's just funny, yeah.
Insulted that we think he's funny, but exactly. He's so serious. But at the same point in time, he says these ridiculous things.
Like, listen to this tweet and tell me it's not funny. And what the fuck was that creepy as shit thing I just heard Jason Benetti say to Jay Billis? Dear God. Like, that's just funny. Like, I don't know why that's funny to me, but the CBS Sports Network studio panel is probably better than the rest. There are not as many stupid or annoying people on there. And John Rothstein is one of the insiders that I actually give a shit about hearing an opinion from. Who the hell did Jay Billis piss off to be assigned to the MAC championship? LOL. I gotta love him.
Babano's the man. Babano.
We got to get him on the show with me on there too.
All right, let's see what else we got. Let me get back to the board here tomorrow. Fuck, I really hope BYU can come out and fucking punch these cocksuckers in the mouth earlier.
I'm not. I hope it just slows.
So you grab Saint Mary's as well. So you're on Saint Mary's and the under.
No, I didn't bet that because it went to 5. So I said, fuck off, I wanted that 4, not the fucking 5.
Yeah, but either way, 4 just ties the game, right? So
yeah, but I'm not in the business to push, and if it ends on 1, I fucking get my money back.
Yeah.
And plus, like, the whole world's on it, and I can obviously see that. A line doesn't move a point generally in second half bets ever.
You check in and see if it's moved again.
Might be up to 5.5 even.
Yes, sir. 5.5.
Yeah, it's all about numbers. I'll pass.
So now suddenly you're getting BYU plus 1.5 if you want. Still not enough value, I don't think. We got BYU plus 6 in our back pocket here. We got the over 136. We hit BYU plus 3. I don't need to force things, right?
Exactly. You have a lot of bets on the game. I'm on under 75. You're on over. Let's see how it goes.
Lakers start off the fourth quarter. They're up by 9. I'm really going to get upset about this. I went from fucking kind of big on Portland. Not massive, right? I'm not going to fucking, not slitting my wrist or anything, but
can you answer me a question, Gabe? Why the fuck is Sam Darnold not throwing in the combine? Can you explain that to me?
I don't know, dude. To me, it looks
Who
like
the fuck do you think he is?
It makes it look like you got something to hide when you do that. To me,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe his arm isn't this, and he thinks, the pro day. But if I'm a team, I want a guy that's just going to show up and fucking do it. You know what I mean? You've had months. You fucking know the combine is what it is. You show up, you do it, you do your thing, and you get out of there. It's pretty simple. I'm not big on Darnold. I'm telling you, I'm not. I don't like him. I'm not saying he's a bad kid, but
yeah, I'm not in love with him either. I've told you I love Rosen, and I'm telling you, Gabe, Luke fucking Falk is Tom Brady. I'm telling you, fucking mark my words. I've been saying.
I see the similarities. I don't disagree with that, but.
And I've read an article that Luke Falk is supposedly obsessed with Tom Brady. Like he's obsessed with learning about him.
I'd be shocked if Belichick needs a quarterback, he needs a backup quarterback.
Like according to WEEI, which as you know is a fairly they're Boston. According to them, Luke Falk is a diehard Tom Brady fan, all the way down to his TB12 methods. He's driven and strives for perfection. He thinks Tom Brady is the greatest role model of anyone in the history of football. Luke
but you see in his body. You brought it up.
Yeah.
You see in his body movement. You notice how some guys just sort of they copy guys. They just sort of they emulate them. Kobe emulated Jordan, and to the point where it was kind of creepy, and he looked the same. And you see with Luke Falk, you can tell that he spent a lot of mechanics are the exact same.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at some of the things here. You there, Gabe?
Yep.
Something wrong with you. I'm echoing.
Let's see what's going on here. No, yeah, we're still all right. Supposedly, I don't know, big man. Who fucking knows with this shit?
Yo, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't really care. But according to his teammate, he loves Tom Brady. Every single thing about him, he was obsessed. Like that's what I want. If you're going to be anyone, be Tom Brady.
Listen, like we said, it'll be interesting to see if the Patriots end up drafting him. We were talking about Rosen. I'm a big Rosen guy as well. I like Rosen. But I'm glad to hear.
Gabe, let me join back in.
Yeah, okay, hop in and out. Yeah. Google Hangouts getting weird. Am I echoing or am I all right? Do I echo as well?
Testing.
I couldn't hear the echo with you. I don't know, man. Like I said, Google Hangouts been doing some weird ass shit recently.
Yeah, it looks like I'm.
All right, I'm good. They say. All right. What about Big Man? Is he better now? No, because we can't. I can't hear his echo.
Yeah, I think. All
right, come on, Portland. Fuck, they cut the lead back down to 6. Boom, cut the lead to 4. All right, looks like Lillard's getting a little zone. Or who is that? Was that Napier that hit that shot? UConn, Shabazz Napier.
Yeah, it looks like I'm echoing here. I don't know why.
Still echoing. Man.
Bruce Chad giving out orders.
Yeah, Bruce Chad, of course, these guys.
I got something to tell Bruce Chad.
I like, though, when they all tell me, they all tell us what to do, big man.
Yes, I do.
Like they've fucking been on Google Hangouts and run these podcasts before.
Yeah, exactly. I've done hundreds of them.
And secondly, telling me what to do when, we do shows here every fucking night for 3, 4, 5 hours a fucking night, and everything's fine, and then something happens. Do this, do that. It's this, it's that.
Yeah. We're doing a live show here. I mean, we can't really change anything around.
Oh, is that you got your list now? All right, yeah. But
Yeah,
let me see, man. You got to talk. Yeah, talk though, because it stays up.
Yo. This is our friend Bruce Chad out there. Domino's.
I told you. Bruce Chad's like Babano. He used to be just easygoing and crack a couple of dominoes jokes. Now he's got fucking answers for everything, this guy.
Yeah, Domino Boy. Settle down, Bruce Chad.
It's called troubleshooting, says he.
Settle down, Jamal Taylor. You're gonna get blocked. We like him way more than we like you.
Jamal Taylor now wants to get him blocked.
How'd he come back? What, he's got a fucking Machiavelli here? Comes back all of a sudden. Come back from the dead. Settle down, Daniel.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like,
Put headphones in.
I don't want to wear headphones, but
I'll jump out.
It's not the headphones.
I'll jump out. I gotta go watch my winning bet anyway.
Fucking 90 to 80 right now. Fucking cocksuckers. No, you remember that one night I had to go to the radio studio to do the shit, and it was the echo, same shit?
Yep.
I don't know what it is. It's Google Hangouts. It's not you, me, or anything else. It's Google Hangouts.
Yeah, I sound like DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled.
Just hop in the chat after, big man. It's all good.
Yeah,
you're on the radio tomorrow anyways with us.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. All right.
Very good. Thanks, fellas.
Okay.
See you later.
It's a big man on campus. All right, so the Lakers. See, for the record, big man, or Bruce Chad. For the record, I would have an echo as well if I had issues with a headphone. You know what I mean? I would be the one feeding back, not him. Well, I hope you lose, Ray. I hope you lose. BYU off to a good start. Like I said, we need BYU. We need BYU to get something going. So Saint Mary's has to pick up their tempo because Saint Mary's doesn't want to play fast. It's not like BYU does either, but obviously a lead will lead to free throws and to chaos late, obviously. It's a slow start, though. It's only 4-2. The in-game totals dropped to 149.5. Lakers are up by 10 again. I kept hoping that Portland was going to come back. Pathetic fucking second half from the Portland Trailblazers, man. I fucking hate the Blazers. Like, every time I trust this fucking team, you know, they've been playing better basketball. Every time I fucking trust this team, this is the bullshit they give me. Listen, I can accept losing a game, guys, but you've scored fucking 15 points in the third, and you scored 7 in the fourth. You've scored 22 points in 2 quarters so far. In a game in which the total was 224. It's unacceptable. They're not going to come back. They're down by 10 now with 7:50. I thought when they cut the lead to 4 there, they were onto something, but they just take bad jumpers. That's what they do. They take all these like long twos, which is the stupidest thing you can do. But Portland are a stupid team. So, like the Houston Rockets play analytic basketball. They're like the new analytic team. And the Rockets' strategy basically is a pretty simple one. You either dunk the ball if you're close, or you take a 3. You'll notice the Houston Rockets, like, they don't like 2-point shots. Like, their general manager, like, doesn't want 2-point shots. Like, it's part of the plan that they have. They feel as though that the 2-point shot's a waste of time. That you either take the 3 or you take it to the rack. You know, no long jump shot. No long jump shot. And you'll notice like bad basketball teams and average basketball teams in the NBA will always take that long 2-point jumper. And Portland's doing it all night, fuck. McCollum and Lillard, they pull up inside the 3 and they try the jumper. It's like, why are you doing this? Like, how do you miss that shot? You got to dunk that shit, Aminu, fuck. Great pass by McCollum under the basket. Lonzo for 3. And he hits it. 93-82. Unbelievable. It could have been cut to 6. It could have been cut to 6, and Aminu pussies out under the fucking basket, fuck. 93-84. You motherfucking cock motherfucking suckers, man. Fucking pathetic. This is really pathetic by Portland. Like, God, I hate you, Portland, man. Come on, hit this fucking shot, Lillard. Lillard's going to the fucking line. See you later, T-Bone. All right, so BYU's balling right now, man. 49-43, 8-6 in the first 4-minute interval. Basically, college basketball is 4-minute intervals. Like, if you talk to any coach, that's how they coach this shit. They don't coach the game. They basically coach in 4-minute blocks. Right? So, like, if you're BYU's coach right now, like, you're not even looking, you're basically now you're playing until the 12-minute timeout on TV. They got to change this. They shouldn't stop every 4 minutes in college basketball. It kills the flow. 95-86. Fuck. Every time Portland looks like they're sort of shaving it, the Lakers score. Portland's going to have to start taking some threes, like more threes. The math just isn't adding up now, guys. Like, Portland, they're scoring a bit now. They're taking it to the rack, but they're getting to the free throw line. But you're down. Like, you need to hit a couple of threes. You got to get this to like 5-6 to make a run here. You're down by 9 now. Fucking McCollum misses a fucking layup. Like, fuck, you're useless, fuck. I don't see what the foul is on this fucking play either. Fucking Portland, man. You fucking motherfucks, man. Fuck, man. Fuck. This is really, 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 really fucking upsetting me, man.
What a fucking joke! Stick, for fuck's sakes! Watch it, you fucking asshole! Fuck!
$97.89. Come on, Portland.
Anyone else like to share? How about you in the back with the glasses, sir?
My name's Bobby, and I am an addict.
Hey, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby. You know, you folks aren't here because you're gamblers. You are here because you are terrible gamblers.
Hey, Bobby.
These folks don't need to stop doing what they're doing. They just need to get better at it. Who's dealing?
Please.
Who's that?
Hello?
Eureka!
Bobby?
All right, so Portland, where are you at now? What do you cut it to 7? 6. They're down by 6 with 4.5 minutes left. It's all good. If you guys can just suck it up and play some good ball here, you can win this game, Portland. We need Lillard to step up and be a star. Here you go. Here you go, Lillard. Let's go. More Lillard, less McCollum. There you go. Aminu again turns it over. Stop. Fuck, man. Fuck. You fucking motherfucker. Stop passing it to this fucking motherfucker, man. Boom. Lillard for 3. Lillard, don't pass the ball to anybody, bro. All right? Don't pass the ball, man. You're in the fucking house that Kobe built. Play like Kobe. Don't pass the ball. It's you. All right, just give it to Lillard, fucking. Get out of his way, fuck. All right, keep the ball, Lillard. Don't pass to anybody. Just do this yourself. 3-ball Lillard. Let's go. Boom. 3-ball Lillard. Fuck. Let's go, Lillard. Let's go, Lillard. Let's go, Lillard. Let's go. Who's dealing? Who's in? Come on, let's go, Lillard. Let's go. Let's go, Portland. Exactly. Do a Kobe. Lillard's in a zone right now. You see that the ball just going right in, too, like fucking lasers. Bang, bang, 3-ball, 3-ball. Lillard's a fucking star. Let's do this, Lillard. Stop passing to Aminu, fuck. In fact, get Aminu's fucking sorry ass off the court, fuck. Looks like it's stress time for Laker bettors right now, too. Everyone's stressed suddenly. Fuck, come on, man. We need this one. Let's go, let's go, let's go, Portland. $53-49. BYU is up by 4 still. They're hanging on. Playing good basketball. Let's go, Mormons. Boom. Fucking right. Nice job, kid. Actually, you know what? BYU guys aren't kids, Fed. They're not. BYU are older than the Sacramento Kings. Like, I swear, if we did, like, the average age of the BYU Cougars, like, they're older than a lot of NBA teams are. After their missions and shit like that, Saint Mary's for 3, sinks it in. How's that second half overlooking? It's right on pace. In-game total 154.5. Hell of a basketball game going on. BYU are really laying it on the line here. You know what it is, Rad Rod? I've explained this to people. It's not like my TV is 15 seconds behind reality. You guys are seeing me like 10, 15 seconds behind reality. Like your chat and this video is not in sync. You know what I mean? Like your chat is instant, but my video is not. Does that make sense? Like this can't be like Razor live. You know what I'm saying? It's live. I'm live. I'm sitting here right now. It's 12:47, but it's not live. You know what I'm saying? You're in the chat. It's live. And Lillard drains another 3. Fuck yeah, Lillard. Let's go, Lillard. Lillard's on fire. He's on fire. Damian Lillard.
He's on fire.
Damian Lillard.
He's on fire.
Lillard. Oh my God. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. This is becoming some epic shit right now, man. This is no joke. I think Lillard's hit like 4 or 5 straight 3-point shots. Fuck. Like this is un-motherfucking believable. Like Lillard, this is Kobe Bryant, man. Like Lillard's just like fucking bam, bam. Like they're not rattling in, fuck. They're like these fucking lasers that are going right in. All right, guys, quick stress break, bong break, bathroom break. Lakers down 3, 103-100. Lonzo for 3. Lonzo hits a 3. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Holy shit, fucking Lonzo of all people. Lillard, foul, going to the line. Oh, he misses the free throw, of course. I'm not opposed to overtime here. There's someone with the over. I'm not opposed to overtime. Right, 104-103 Portland. We played the money line, not the -2. Kuzma in the corner. Caldwell Pope misses a jumper. Foul on the Lakers. That's a bad foul on the Lakers. I like it, but that was a dumb foul to take. Fucking right. We're going to the free throw line here. Nurkic. 104-103. Caldwell Pope thought there was going to be a foul call. There wasn't. Boom, Nurkic. Let's go, Portland. Oh, come on. Yeah, now, guys, it's getting serious here with March Madness coming up and with the NBA playoffs. We're going to have a new setup here. Like I said, I'm going to set up a new deal because I can't sit still during this shit, man. I'm going to have a lot of money on these games. Like, I got a lot of action going right now. I can't just sit here like, oh, that's interesting. I'm going to set it up, man. I'm going to set up the camera so it's just facing me. I'm going to stand up and do the shows and shit from now on. I just sort of walk around. We're going to change things up, man. I don't like being stale, I want a new look anyways. All right. Lakers taking it to the rack. Didn't go in. Fuck yeah, he missed. Lakers up. Lakers down by 3, 106-103. Portland Trailblazers, 51 seconds remaining. Damian Lillard with the basketball. Center court, Lillard taking control, 39 points. Portland Trailblazers are 3-0, and Lillard scores 40 or more this year. Lillard taking it to the rack. Steps back for a long two. Doesn't get it, but he gets the rebound. Don't do anything stupid, McCollum. Make the Lakers foul you here. Don't do anything stupid. (106, 103). We can deliver a dagger here. Let's go, Lillard. Fuck you. Yes. Yes. Yeah, rebound. Boom. He missed. Can any of you guys on Portland besides Lillard do anything? Like, you're all riding this guy's coattails, you useless pricks. Fuck. Look, hey, McCollum, can you hit a free throw here, buddy? Like one? No, he missed them both. You're a fucking useless piece of shit, McCollum. You really are. Fuck. You're a professional player. Your team's up 3. There's 7 seconds left. You need to hit one free throw, asshole. Fuck, you're fucking useless. I fucking knew it. Like, he's not good, this guy. He's like, he goes on these little streaks where he'll score 26 points and shit, but fuck, bro, man. Seriously, bro. Like, what the... Do you believe this shit? You believe this, Kirk Esparza? You guys believe this shit? You know it's going to happen. Whatever, guys. It's going to overtime. It's going to overtime. I'll tell you right now. Lonzo Ball's going to hit a 3 here at the fucking buzzer. Fuck. If it goes to overtime, we can hit the over, though. At least, thank God, it's not 2 right now. We lose by 1. I don't even know the Saint Mary shit. I haven't even looked. Let's just get out. Let's get through this game, and then we'll worry about that game. I don't believe I don't believe this. Portland just fouled the fucking. Can you believe this? I don't believe this. I don't believe this. I don't fucking believe this, man. And he missed. Thank God. Fuck. You're fucking useless, Portland. Like, a dead ball foul with under 24 seconds left means fucking a free throw and possession, you idiots. Oh, fuck me. And he missed. They're going to hit the 3. What happened? 1 second left. That was a bad pass by Lonzo to throw it across the court like that. You can't do that, Lonzo. You got to call timeout, or you can't throw it across the court. Like, Lonzo Ball is good and shit, but he fucked up there. Everyone's going to blame Isaiah Thomas at the end. Lonzo Ball, you're not supposed to throw it all the way to the other side of the court. Fucking, it's only because Lopez is 7 feet tall. He was able to fucking catch that pass. But even if he doesn't have a timeout, he can't throw it across the court like that. Like, it puts everyone, it fucked the whole play up, you know? I don't care, whatever. Boom, Portland saves our ass. We went bigger on Portland than we did the over. Well, fucking Portland beats the Lakers for the 15th straight time. How about that, Cody? How about that, Cody? We told you, Portland Trailblazers. So I was driving in from Cleveland today. All right. Quit living in the past, Marge. That's in the past. What's going on with BYU? BYU. BYU. Let's go BYU. So cash it, motherfuckers. Winner, winner. Portland Trailblazers get it done. We lose the total, but what did we say before? We were scared about the total. We were more involved with the Blazers. Blazers get it done. Speaking of getting it done, what did I tell you at the half? I said BYU is not going to choke, and they're going to win this game. 69-57, BYU up by 12 right now. We need Saint Mary's to stop choking and get some fucking points here.
If Haas is knocking down shots, if Nixon is giving you that energy and that effort on the defensive end, the offensive
Well, look, the total was 137. Yeah, we're at 126 with 6 minutes left. That's going to get there. The question is, can we get to the second half over? Which I think we will, but we'll see. Ooh, wow. That Laker, ooh, that Portland, we needed that. Ooh, ooh. That was man. That game was a stress job. Yeah, overtime 22. Teams off of successful road trips. It's more of a thing, like if a team has a bad road trip, getting back home is different. But exactly, teams who come off bad road trips, good road trips that win a bunch of games on the road, inevitably always lose the first game back home. Something to keep your eye on once the baseball season starts. Good shit, Normal. Bro, I had given up on it. I got to be honest. I got to be honest. When it was 90-80, I was like, all right, it's just not happening. Damian Lillard just won us that bet. If you were on the Lakers, whatever. I wouldn't feel bad. The Lakers played good basketball tonight. It was pretty simple what happened. Damian Lillard happened. As Cody said, it's Lillard time, and Lillard went off. How many? What did he hit? 4 straight 3-point shots? Thanks, Cody. I think he hit, 4 straight? Have a good one, Cody. Thanks for the support, bro. Yeah, 4 threes in a row. Might have been 5, but I think it was 4, Lucas. I think it was 4 threes in a row. I'm doing the show, so I might have missed one. I'm looking up and down, but I think it was Damian Thriller. I think it was 4 in a row. That was 12 points, man. What did I say, too, when they were down 10? I said, you guys need to start shooting threes, man, to even this shit out a bit. And then, boom, they did. Lillard did. It was like 100-92 when he started the 3-point assault. It was 97, so it was 97-80 fucking 5 or something. And then, boom, it was like 97-88, 97 fucking. I saw one 97-90, 97-93, 97-96. Like, all he did, he missed 1 free throw at the end. That was it. He went off, man. And he saved our ass. But whatever, that's in the past. We hit it. Now we move on. Let's close out this BYU and the over. We're on BYU plus the points, and we're on the over. And then we're on the second half over. I would have taken BYU in the second half money line, but the odds makers weren't giving it to us because it was only minus 115. But like I said, I didn't think BYU would choke here. Now this is good because Saint Mary's knows, man, this is a bad look for them to lose this game. They're going to have to go Johnny Desperate all the way out here. Danny Desperate. Donnie Desperate to the end of the game.
You have to continue to go through your and play with that same effort and energy. Don't play safe ball just because you're up.
Lead down to 8, under 5 minutes to go.
All right, so yeah, we'll hang out with you guys to the end of this BYU game. All right, I'm just going to take a quick break here. All right, take a leak, stretch my leg for a second. Long break, but we'll be back to wrap up this game with you.
Comes up short. Dixon recovers it, though. Didn't hit the rim. So Bryant now has to look up and realize that the shot clock's winding down. It's a 3. Spins and gets it to go.
I'm going to give that credit to Haas. He was telling him the shot clock, you're in the red after 5 seconds. And Bryant just used this ability and got to the paint. And here a tough 2.
Ford, one-handed layup is good. A new career high for Jordan Ford. He's got 27. Elijah Bryant with the shot clock winding down again. Short. Ford splits the game. Old school floater not there. There's the player of the year, though, on the offensive glass to cut the lead down to 6.
And a huge bucket right there by St. Mary's. John Glendale just imposing his will on the game, not giving up on the possession, getting the tip in. He's talking on defense. Even though he's in foul trouble, he's being aggressive on the shows.
Pause with a shot fake. Throws it home. Landale had to lay off with the 4 fouls.
He understood that Landale was coming over to guard him, and he used his pivot wisely. They went up into the body of Landale. Landale went straight up.
Here come the Gales.
He shook his head like I saw it coming.
Boom. Winner over hits 138 with 2.5 left.
Bryant. Yes. What an answer from BYU. After the lead was cut to 6, Randy Bennett wants a timeout.
You see Landale not assuming anything, going for the tip in. And then Brian is taking this ball game over, making money moves. Thank you.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal, Investments, Retirement, Insurance, and Arby's. Arby's, we have the meats.
Las Vegas, baby. That's where we'll be next week. All right, so what do we at here? What do we got? Fuck, we need 13 more points for the push. They've scored 62 points in the second so far. You got to believe that Saint Mary's is going to fucking bust their balls here at the end, though. Played a foul game, hit a 3 or 2.
A sandwich from a city that's so far south.
It'll be a real Vegas party too. Will be a lot of different casinos, a lot of different places, doing shows from different places. All right, two minutes left in the game. So, yeah, just for the record, so after the game, I'm going to wrap it up. But so for tomorrow morning, I'm going to go with Boston College and the under. Boston College minus the 2. Let's just money line it. Boston College minus the 125 or whatever on the money line. And let's go under the 138. I like big man's angle. It's true. It should be a low-scoring game to begin with. I got burnt last time I bet Boston College under, but it should go under, and I like the fact that it's at noon. Teams don't deal well with early morning games. Like, how many people are going to be there at noon tomorrow for this fucking game? You know, Boston College, you're going to have a few fans because it's Boston to New York. It's not that bad. How many Georgia Tech fans are going to be there? 0. Whatever Georgia Tech alum is in New York City will go, maybe. You know, a few of them will show up, but it's not. How many Georgia Tech alum are there in New York City? Yeah, the game's at noon Eastern in the morning. So that'll be our pick in the morning. Boston College, money line, and under 138. Ooh, St. Mary's hits a 3. We need that. Good. They're up to 143 right now. Let's get this shit home, boys. Hey, listen, no complaints already. We gave you BYU plus 3 first half, winner. Gave you BYU plus the 6, plus 5.5. Unless this shit goes to overtime, that's going to win. And we gave you the over 137, winner. So we're already 3-0 in this game. We're already 3-0 in this game. Now we're on the second half over for a nice 4-0 curling sweep of this BYU game. Let's get it. Now, look, we split the Portland game, but I put more on Portland. I told you before the game that the over kind of freaked me out a bit. So I went a little smaller on the over. I went bigger on Portland. So, you know, it's just split, though. But, No complaints. We're 4-1 tonight on the 10:30 games, guys. So if you followed us tonight, 4-1. BYU first half +3. BYU plus the points. BYU Saint Mary's over. Portland Trailblazers loser with the over in the Blazer game. I got to take that loss, and then hopefully we can hit the second half here for a 5-1 night on the show. All right, BYU with the basketball, 1:35 left. They're milking the clock. Shot clock down to 8. And they got fouled. Going to the line. No, sorry, my bad. They're not going to the line. Next time they'll be going to the line. No, sorry, 2. They're only at 5. My bad. It's very small. I don't have it on full screen here. I apologize. St. Mary's only have 5 team fouls. 2 more. 2 more. NIT, there's going to be 5. There's another one. There's a foul. All right, so St. Mary's has clearly decided that, yeah, we're playing a foul game. Now they'll be in the bonus next time. They'll shoot 1 here. Let's see. They're going to foul? No, they haven't fouled them. I don't know why you guys would use up your 2 fouls and not foul. You're pretty dumb. Fuck. All right, they're playing D1 last time here. Oh, fuck. BYU nearly threw the ball out of bounds. You guys see that? Like, St. Mary's for 3. Short, air ball. Ooh, we got a problem for the second half total now. Holy shit. It's getting out of control, fuck. They're down by, they're going to be down at 77-68 with free throws coming here. We can't have St. Mary's quit. Like, St. Mary's knows you're about to lose, but you can't quit now. Like, you guys have to fucking foul to the end and play this out. The coach was saying before the game, he's not sure they're in the tournament. I imagine he will be, but whatever. St. Mary's, even if you get in, they're going to lose. I mean, they're not that good, St. Mary's. Fuck. There's still 57 seconds left. It's up to St. Mary's. All right, kid hits the free throw. Good, good, good. We're up to 146 right now. We're up to 146. All right, we're up to all right, St. Mary's. My sportsbook's a little ahead. St. Mary's gets a deuce. All right, we're at 149. 149. Sweat job city, boys. All right, BYU going to the line now. 79-70. We need 6 more points. Even though my math's a little off. Now, what are we at? No, we're getting close. We're getting close. All right, we're at 73. We need another 2. We need another 2 points for a push. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. Come on. Come on. Come on. Evergrande, Asian Champions League tomorrow. Hey, there's Flavor Flav in the house. Boom. Yeah, motherfucker. In the words of Flavor Flav, yeah, boy. Oh. Second half over. Sweep it. 4-0, motherfuckers. Thanks, guys. Hope you cash it as well. Crowd's fired up in the late night hours here tonight. Tony Sincata in the house. What's up, Tony? No rest for the wicked for Sincata. 85-72. Motherfuckers, man. BYU roll. Should have moneylined this bitch, but I didn't think they were going to win. It's funny, like all day I liked BYU, but I was scared to do it. As the game came, I was like, fuck it. Fuck, let's just fucking pull the trigger. BYU advances to the championship game.
9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. I'll be with Jim Wojciechowski and Dick Vitale, and we will bring you the championship game between BYU and Kentucky. Karan Butler, thanks a million.
What, they screw over Karan Butler? He does the semifinal? Karan Butler does the semifinal tonight. And they're like, Weeshoo's is like, tomorrow night I'll be with Dick Vitale. It's like, sorry, Karan Butler's not going to be doing the final. Sorry, Karan, you got the semifinal over. Karan Butler. Who do you remember him in the NBA? Miami Heat. College, who did Karan Butler play for? Off the top of my head, I'm saying UConn. Karan Butler. Yes, sir, UConn. I did not look it up first. I said it off the top of my head. Karan Butler is a bit player. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed soon too, Tony. I only slept like 3 hours last night. Oh, we said I would end the show earlier, and then I get fucking we get going here, but good job, guys. I appreciate you joining us here tonight. It was a fun time. The show's a lot of fun when we win, isn't it? Nice 4-0 sweep in the BYU game, and then we hit Portland. Grinch, Final Four, BYU, Michigan, Loyola, Chicago, and Radford. I'm going to say Final Four. I don't know. It's tough, but let's say Villanova, Michigan, Kansas. And Duke. I hate to say it, but Duke. Yeah, if I had to pick a Final Four right now, that's what I would say. Duke, Villanova, Kansas, and Michigan. Duke, Villanova, Kansas, Michigan. That would be my Final Four if I had to pick it right now. Hey, listen, I'm no Duke fan, but I'm just calling it like I see it. Sincata says Kentucky surprises. You know what, Tony? I think Kentucky will be a load to deal with, actually. I think they're being a little bit undervalued, but I don't think they can go that far. Yeah, don't hold me to this, Lucas, but that's what I'm looking at now. Duke, Villanova, Kansas, Michigan. And with that, we'll wrap things up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You guys rock. I know BetOnline's had some problems, technical issues over the last couple of days. But don't worry, they'll be up and running for the tournament. Remember to support SBR. Give us a thumbs up if you can, if you enjoyed the show on the way out. Support SBR. And don't forget, Friday, March 16th, we're going to be at the Mirage. Friday, March 16th at the Mirage, kicking it with Clay Travis and Zach Jones, the SBR crew, and Clay Travis and Fox Sports' crew are going to be there. We're going to be throwing it down at the Sportsbook, getting drunk. Friday, March 16th at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern, live at the Mirage. Make sure if you're in town, you come down and check it out. We'll have a lot of other shows kicking it from Las Vegas, Nevada as well, starting next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We appreciate everybody tuning in. You guys motherfucking rock. May the winners be yours. In the morning, we're taking Boston College minus money line. Fuck the two. Money line. Boston College beats Georgia Tech. Game goes under 138.5. Other than that, you're on your own. May the winners be yours. Later.